Mr. Game and Counselor.
Mr. Game and Counselor here. Mr. Game and Counselor. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids, but this one wants to murder me. So long, you loser! Ah! What was that? Oh, you want me to use a sniper? You want me to use a sniper?
Well, I guarantee you.
Yep. Where's the third one? Sasuke? Sasuke? So tell me, are you a Naruto or a Sasuke fan? I know you were in Naruto, but what do you think about Barton? Oh, this is not my train controllers! Moons, I'm safe over here. They'll never expect anything from me. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Ah, no! Oh. No! For your abilities. EA got railed. They literally got grilled. They got kicked out the door. People absolutely grilling them for the statement because they thought, I guess EA thought, you know, it'd be funny.
Welcome to the Counselor's Office.
When you were all alone, yeah.
What's up, guys? Give me a second. We're just getting things set up. What's up, Hades? What's up, Lone? All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the music for now because we're going to get right into... Nope, not that one, not that one. This one. Sorry, I got multiple tabs. All right. What is up? I just want to make sure, clarify that our sound is good. So I'm just going to let this play a little bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Are we good, sound-wise?
Welcome.
By the way, I have not watched this yet, so that's why we're going in blind. I should get like my cheat sheet, like write some notes, because I do want to make like my personal thought video. Why can't... Yeah, this is stupid. Why? Hello? Hello? Thank you. Jesus. What's up, chat? Just join us, participate in us. We're gonna get started on this reveal in a minute. Again, I haven't really done much, and I prepared, but I haven't done like actually like a lot going on here. So let me get my paper real quick. Grab some. All right. Oh, I can take some notes. What's up? What's up? A little low. The dude in the glasses seems like always wear the same clothes And every stream, is it just me? A little low. Okay, so we need to crank that up, Soldier Boy. The problem is it's already as high as can be. The only thing I can think of is this, let's go to settings. Oh, let me double check. This is cranked up. Let's go to sound devices. Oop, nope, wrong slot. We want to go to volume mixer. Yeah, I mean, we're max. I don't know how to increase the volume of this, unfortunately, because we're capped out. It's just really weird. So it's going to have to be, no, you had, but the Destiny 2 stream. Okay. Not you. No, I know not me. I have the stream as capped out as possible. I have the game. I have game like I have it attached to game. Yeah. So yeah, it's not. I know it's not me, guys. I know it's not me. Like mine is always going to be high. Like I am always going to be Gucci. The problem is everything else. Yeah. So we've got output games max. That's how it's going to be. I'm sorry. I don't know how to amplify it more than what it's already amplified as. I don't know what it is, but it's max. We are max. That's what we're dealing with. So,
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's good to see y'all again, Guardians. Welcome here.
so this is just, we're going to have to deal with this. Thank you, everyone, waiting as we're doing technical issues, because I am going to record this as I do a actual blind playthrough. Watch through. Try to keep spoilers. If we want to talk about things as it goes, that's fine. But just, I don't want to be spoiled. I want a raw reaction. Okay, should be good. Fine. Okay. All right. Cool. So let's just start this off, shall we? Let's kick off. Everything's good. Groovy. Hot. Sexy. All right. Chat is on the board, so we can chat along as we go. All right, let's start her up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Counselor's Office. This is my first watch of the Heresy Act 1 reveal. I do want to, we're going to do a couple things as we go, which is kind of funny. First things first, I didn't watch the stream, but I did jump in and I took this picture. Oops. I took this picture. This was what was going on during the stream. Just everyone who wants to know. Before it even started, this was what was being spammed in chat. I'm sorry. Bungie, I think the people have spoken, or Sony. The people have spoken. The ball is in your court now. Just saying, the ball is in your court. The people have speaketh. It is time for you to deliver what they ask. But yeah, I took that. I had to get off because I had to go test some students. So I'm very interested to see what we're at. Also, I have made D2 Bingo. We're going to play D2 Bingo. You already know the results before I do, but we're going to play together. I know this is not traditional bingo because it's like extra squares, but there's so much I want to cover. I want to see if they cover that. We got extra squares. We're playing. Listen, the game is janky and buggy, and so is the bingo board. Don't be surprised. All right, we're going to jump into it. We're going to jump into it, and we're going to try to remember the bingo board. Let's see. We have MTX, address quality of life, of life. I think it's supposed to be QL, quality of life. Addressing time gates, addressing bugs, or comes back. Shiny weapons, content creator circle jerk, addressing tonics if they bring them back, arc focus, Zalo returns. I think that was a big one. Rolk returns because of the fact that we're going back to the pyramid. DMG dumb joke. I'm expecting his Noah shows gameplay. This guy has been on it, so let's see if he comes back. And then they reveal a menagerie activity because, like I said, nostalgia bait. And then Dreadnought, not a patrol space, which is what a lot of people are hoping it's going to be. I don't feel like it is. God, I can't wait for your reaction to this reveal. This is going to be great. All right, let's see.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's good to see y'all again, Guardians. Welcome here
Is
to
it?
Bungie HQ.
Yes, it's great to see the almost 30K players. It's great to see you all. That, we've lost so many of y'all and you haven't come back. Please come back. Please come back.
Broadcasting live from beautiful Bellevue, Washington, today with our stream that's going to be talking through some of the awesome stuff you're going to be able to check out just next week when Act 1 of Episode Heresy launches on February 4th. Now, worry not, you're not going to just have to sit here and listen to me. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here at Bungie, but I've got some amazing colleagues here.
I don't know why I miss Deej, because even though Deej introduced like the 2 tokens and 1 blue, I liked his personality. Something about this guy just makes me hate watching Bungie streams. I don't know what it is, but he's so uncharismatic. Like Deej, even though the building could be on fire, you like Deej. I like Deej. I miss Deej.
To go ahead and share some of the finer details of all the cool stuff we're going to be checking out today. So, to not waste any time and show y'all what you came here to see, let's go ahead and introduce everyone so we can get to it. First things first, this gentleman to my left, a brand new addition to our show. If you've joined us before, you may recognize his face, or not recognize his face, rather. The one and only Mr. Nico Stevens, narrative architect here at Bungie. Nico, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great.
Nico.
How are you doing?
Okay.
Doing well, thank you.
I haven't seen him.
Your first time joining us. For anyone that may not have followed you on social media or maybe wondering what it is a narrative architect does, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Sure. So I joined Bungie. I joined Bungie back in Season of Undying.
Narrative architect. That is what? What does that mean? Like, I guess we're just going to explain it, but that is such a weird name to have as a job.
Like right at the tail end of that, and I've been working on seasonal content from then up until now and doing the episode stuff.
Yeah.
And I've done a few annual releases here and there, did some Final Shape stuff. People might know my work from Presage or Warlord's Ruin or some of those.
Presage is like my favorite.
Okay, Presage was good and Warlord's Ruin was good, except the loot was ass, except for in-depth kindness. Also, I missed up, chat. Pre-recorded stream. That should have been like the freebie, because this is pre-recorded. It's very shallow and no connection to the community whatsoever. Like, this wasn't a real live stream. This was just a pre-recorded stream.
Exotic mission of all time. Not even kidding.
I'm a little biased, but I do love it.
So good. All right, we can talk about that at another time, but thank you for being here, Nico. We appreciate it. Next to him, someone who's joined us in the past, actually. If you joined us for our Episode Echoes stream, you probably recognize his face immediately. The one and only Ryan Harris, senior designer here at Bungie. Ryan, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Thank you very
Is this the guy that we should be upset with about Echoes being ass? At least we have a face that you can point blame to, I guess.
much. For anyone that maybe didn't join us on the last Echo stream or is just seeing you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
For sure, yeah. So I'm a senior activity designer here at Bungie. I've been around since Season of the Plunder. Folks may know my content that I've worked on from most recently the Battlegrounds.
I don't know if I would openly admit that I'm the dude who who makes Battlegrounds probably the most hated thing in Destiny, because people would rather have strikes. I would not claim that as my fame. Yeah, I'm that dude that you hate.
From Echoes, and then before that, Savathûn Spire, and then the Defiant Battlegrounds.
Yeah, another one today to add to the best hits, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here, Ryan. We appreciate it. And last but very not least, someone who needs no introduction, a friend to all Guardian kind, a voice of all of you fine folks.
Voice and friend to Guardian kind. Yes, the guy that gaslights the community. Yes. The guy that tried to water down the weight gate and the perk issue. Like, shh, we're not going to talk about that. Why does he look like a lumberjack?
Out in chat, here in the studio, the Youngblood Dillionaire himself, Dylan Gaffner. Dylan, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you. How are you doing, Andy? Question number 3.
Doing so well, thank you.
Why is
exclamation point period.
Why was this such an awkward interaction? He felt like, how are you doing? Dude, I like someone who's in psychology. That was such an awkward, like, back and forth. Okay.
To that same end, you are the global community lead here. Can you tell the
so
folks at home
uncomfortable.
that may not have accosted you on Blue Sky or anything like that, just a little bit about who you are and what it is you do here?
Yeah, I mean, we're listening. I'm that guy. Bread, hashtag meme.
And there it is. DMG, dumb joke. We have our first one. I don't know if it's you shouldn't. That's not one of those things like, oh, I'm going to make a joke about the ongoing issue with Bungie. That is not something you want to joke about. I'm the we're listening to you guy.
But ultimately, yeah, we on the community team, we make sure to field all your feedback, get our roadmap of comms together for what's in a TWID, how can we set expectations, what's all the cool stuff going on in Destiny in the game or outside of it too.
Yeah.
Speaking of outside of it, I want to do a quick shout out to Mactix. We have a Game to Give charity marathon going on right now. Actually, his time slot coincides with ours.
Okay. I'm not going to mark this. I'm not going to mark the Circle Jerk content creator because they're doing a charity. Like, that would be a dick move for me to be like, haha, circle jerking. They're trying to raise for charity. So I'm going to give them a pass on that. I'm not going to count it.
So throughout this, we're going to be dropping links in chat to his charity page.
Awesome.
So if you want to support a good cause, help out the Bungie Foundation and all the people in need, hit up that link, check out the incentives, and donate some money if you can. If you can't, totally fine.
Yep.
Spread the word.
And hey, do yourself a huge favor while you're out there. Give Mactix a follow. Steal some of his builds. I know I do. I mentioned it last stream. All right, so that is
Okay, now we're circle jerking. All right, we're back to circle jerking.
enough about us. Let's talk about the cool things that you guys have been building. Obviously, we're about to go ahead and arrive at Act 1 of Heresy. But before we get there, Nico, I'd love to ask you really quickly, what got us to where we are today? Obviously, we're concluding episode Revenant, but a lot has occurred. Can you catch anyone up at home about
Oh my God, I spoiled it.
So,
What was that?
The story of the Echoes, which the episodes encompass, has it was kicked off from the final shape. So at the end of the final shape, we kill the witness.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers, sorry.
That witness is dead.
So we take out the witness, and from the witness and from the Pale Heart, we see all of these echoes like burst out and start flying across Sol.
Yeah.
The first one that we encountered was in the hands of Maya Sundaresh. We dealt with her. She escaped. Second one we encountered was in the hands of Fikrul. We dealt.
She escaped. Bungie has admitted that she's escaped, meaning she's going. Not only does she still have the Echo, but her story is continuing on. The whole purpose of episodes was to wrap up story threads. If she escapes and still has an Echo, that means the story isn't over yet. Holy crap, Bungie.
Dealt with him, he did not escape. And then the third one that we are encountering is going to be here in the Dreadnought. And after it left the Pale Heart, a very specific dread that we're going to be seeing this episode gave chase to it. So we're going to be dealing with the Dread and the Taken and the Hive all revolving around this third Echo.
Excellent. Very exciting. All right, so we have up on screen here in just a
Wait, so the main villain is a random ass Dread. Unless it's Rolk. Are they alluding that this is Rolk? Or is Rolk returning? Is that why they're not mentioning? Because Rolk is technically a Dread. So is Rolk coming back? What the F? Is he coming back? Surely not. Or is it Nezarek? Nah, we know Nezi's dead. But it's not Zero Wrath? You're telling me Zero Wrath isn't what the villain? Like what? Okay, let me just, maybe they'll explain.
moment, I think. The key art now for this next episode, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
But Nico, I'll leave it to you. Can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here?
Yeah. So I think the first thing that's probably going to draw a lot of people's eye is
They actually did it. Holy shit. They brought Ghost Oryx. They brought Oryx back as a fucking ghost. This is the most nostalgic shit I have ever seen in my life. Okay, let's just watch. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he's not the villain of the story. We know it's a random ass dread that we don't even know. Like, let's take a look. Who, like, this is obviously the threat right here. This is the dude. Let's see. Let's enhance this. Let's see. This is supposed to be the Echo, yes? Okay. I don't know, man. Like, we have Ghost, we have the Phantom of Oryx. That is, like, we have Skull Ass, and now we have Oryx. Neat.
Is that ghostly visage of
Where's Crota? Bring Crota back.
Oryx peeking over the top there?
Yep. Yeah.
So Oryx is, I'll just say Oryx is back to some capacity, right?
Yeah.
And the Echo has a lot to do with that. So
Let me guess. So here's just my train of thought. Echoes are composed of memories of civilizations. This is going to be an echo based on the memory of the Hive Pantheon, and the witness's involvement in manipulating the triplets, because it's the 3 siblings. And so this is not technically Oryx. This is the memory of Oryx that is being manifested from the Echo. Is that, maybe that's the guess I'm thinking, is that this is the memory, the phantasm of Oryx. It's not really him, because how the hell would the witness have the soul of Oryx? I'm thinking it's just the memory of Oryx.
So not only are the Guardians jumping through trying to figure out what exactly is going on in this first act, but they're dealing with this old foe that has been dredged up from the bones of the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And I don't want to reveal too much. But
no,
yeah, we're gonna be clashing.
The Guardians will be there very soon. But so we're dealing obviously again with the Taken King again.
It has to be the memory, because if this was the true Oryx, Oryx would just kill himself, because Oryx abides in the lore, abides by the sword logic, and he hates necromancy, and this would be a form of necromancy if he was brought back from the dead, and he would just straight kill himself. The fact that they hinted at us clashing of Oryx means that Oryx this isn't the real Oryx, this is the memory of Oryx, so that's what's going on here. That's just my thought.
In some form. So we have some old foes returning, but before we go ahead and move on into gameplay and dive into that.
What about Savathun and Siva Wrath?
Allies returning as well. Can you tell us about some of the folks we're going to be working with this time around as well?
Yeah, so our main cast right now is Eris Morn, which is our resident witch hive
we
expert.
expected that.
A lot of people know her from Season of the Witch, aptly named, or even further back. Season of Arrivals is kind of like the first time that she jumped back into this new sort of saga.
Or the fact that she was part of Crota's end, like that was her introduction way back in the day. Like, she literally has ties to Oryx through Crota. Like, okay.
Story arc. So we have Eris Morn. She is, as I said, our resident hive expert. We have the Drifter, her faithful companion, who's following alongside and helping us kind of pick apart what the Taken are doing here.
Yeah.
I think I said at some point before that he always has his finger in the weird of the universe.
He certainly does.
And
He has his finger in. I'm sure the Drifter loves putting his fingers into things. Two in the ghost and one in the stink. There you go.
some weird going on here.
Excellent.
And then finally, we have Deputy Commander Sloan.
Right.
And Sloan is our Titan representation here. People will remember her from Season of the Deep or even the Red War.
Okay.
And she has been afflicted with this like Taken corruption that we saw back in Season of the Deep. And she's learned how to sort of hold it back, but also utilize it to make her stronger.
Yeah.
So she is going to be teaching us some of that.
Yeah, that's we're going beyond once again.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say. So we've obviously got a whole new cast of friends and enemies to go up against. But really quickly as well, something we were talking about a little bit earlier in the show is the player journey as well. It's something you guys are really excited about this time around.
Okay, so we have Drifter. I guess it makes sense, even though he has no ties to Crota or Oryx. Then you have Eris, which has ties. Like, what about, why is Mara Sov not involved? I feel like this should have, literally Oryx killed Mara Sov or killed her original body and she went to the Senate plane. And then it was because of Oryx and the Dreadnought, the whole High Pantheon, that the Dreaming City is the way it was because Oryx took Riven. Thematically, why is not Mara Sov involved in this conclusion? Also, where is Savathun and Ziva fucking Arath? The two twins. Please don't tell me they're going to come in at Act 3 or at the end of Act 2 and we're going to wrap up their story. Please don't do that, Bungie. That shit was ass in Revenant. Oh, God, please don't do that again. Why do I have a bad feeling about the story being ass?
Can you tell us a little bit about how players are going to be experiencing some of these quests?
Yes.
Also, we're introducing a random ass Dread as the main. Fikrul has made sense. This feels like, again, we're back to Mara Tushash, whatever her name is. That's what the story feels like. We got this random ass Dread, unless it's like a Rolk or some kind of Nezarec throwback, I guess would be okay as a Dread. But if it's this random ass named Dread and that's the big baddie, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
So, okay, so players have been talking a lot about the structure of the player journey and how they'd kind of like to see it shaken up a bit, right? Mm-hmm. So this is...
That's an understatement, Bungie. We would like to see things shooken up. Yes. We would like time gating to be removed. We would also like to address the bugs and the quality of life. You could say that both are the same, but I feel like quality of life is not the same as it's not always the bugs that's the problem, because you could have quality of life as in error codes, because bugs are just glitches and things that break the game versus just the game crashing. That's why I put these on two different slots.
This is going to be kind of one of our first steps into trying to make that happen in a more tangible way.
Cool.
So you will still notice some of those elements of returning to a vendor or something like that. But you're also going to notice that we're doing a lot more.
Can we roll this back just a couple of minutes?
The player journey and how they'd kind of like to see it shaken up a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is going to be kind of one of our first steps into trying to.
Again, here we are acknowledging the player feedback, and they're saying this is our first steps. You said in Act 1, Revenant, that you were addressing the formula, especially with the hologram and the vendor bullshit. You were going to start addressing it with Revenant. What the fuck are you talking about, Jim? That turned out that was a lie, I guess.
Make that happen in a more tangible way.
Cool.
So you will still notice some of those elements of returning to a vendor or something like that. But you're also going to notice that we're doing a lot more bespoke, spread out delivery for these beats.
Cool.
You're going to find characters in the midst of a mission sometimes.
Yeah.
Holy crap! We're actually going to connect with the people that are usually talking to us in a mission. They say they're in the background in some fucking place and you have no idea where they're at. Whereas in the final shape, you actually saw Cade and Crow in the mission. And then you're like, hell yeah, we're getting this actual connection with these characters. Who would have thought? That's great.
There's some new tech that I don't want to spoil. I want players to see it in the game.
Yeah.
But there's some new tech having to do with the way that we would holo-project characters in that sort of projection unit that you would find in the helm.
Yeah.
We're expanding that out so that it's a little bit more versatile and it is more cognizant of where players want to be and less about like having to return to this one spot and kind of loop through the helm over and over again.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys. Obviously, I'm sure our audience of Guardians who have let Dylan know and his compatriots loud and clear what we're looking for are happy to be hearing that. So.
Oh, I didn't put holo projector on this.
Let me talk to this character. Let me go back to the helm. Let me talk to this character.
Is there a holo projector?
Yeah. I should have put holo projector. It should have been the big one. So, okay. So it seems that Bungie is actually addressing holo projectors, going back and forth, and it seems like you are going to actually engage with the character themselves instead of them disappearing randomly and you going to a fucking holo projector that's right next to them. Thank God.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
By the way, this new tech, I guarantee they're going to take the Borderlands approach where it's going to be like a little screen that pops up on your overlay and it's going to be the character talking. Like it's going to be literally, a portable holograph thing, which is fine. I'd rather do that while they give, instead of having to go back and forth, it just auto plays while I'm doing the thing.
Well, really exciting. So as we kind of move into that player journey, we're going to be working on something called the Path of Resolve. Can you tell us just a little bit about what that is before we dive into the gameplay here in just a moment?
Yes, so there is an event that happens at the beginning of the episode, which people will see very, very soon after the launch.
Yeah.
And this sort of kicks off, I'm going to choose my words very carefully here.
Redacted.
Redacted, yes.
This redacted event sort of kicks off Sloane's motivation for teaching us about the Taken Power.
The big fish gets kidnapped. That's what it is. The big fish gets kidnapped. I forgot what the hell her name is, but it's the high Leviathan fish. That thing is getting swooped up, and Sloane wants to chase after her, and I guarantee that's what's going to happen.
Power that she has been holding back.
Yeah.
Big fish confirmed.
So that is the path of resolve here. She's going to be teaching us how to fight fire with fire. We're going to be going into the Dreadnought, taking some control of that Taken.
Why am I getting Lightfall PTSD? I feel like we've heard the same thing about Strand using the darkness, like Mr. Miyagi style. Like I'm getting PTSD.
Energy, taking some control of those old hive magics and wielding them using our light and using our paracausality, wielding that new power against our enemies.
Very nice.
Again,
All
sounds
we're
like
gonna be
Strand.
obviously keeping Sloan very busy.
Oh, yeah.
With that. But speaking of, we actually have our requisite local fire team here in-house in the activity as well. Ryan, this is the Nether. This is the new activity that's going to be arriving with
All right, we got the Nether. Got a name.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what this is for starters as we go ahead and kind of dive into it?
Yeah, so the Nether is a 3-player activity, and we are back on the Dreadnought's patrol zones.
Okay, it's confirmed, not Menagerie, because Menagerie is up to 6 players. This is not Menagerie so far.
And we'll be exploring the Dreadnought, rooting out the Taken Hive and Dread Corruption that are taking place and taking hold inside the Dreadnought itself as we go through these spaces. And the Nether itself is a uniquely different type of activity. We're really trying to...
Okay, so this looks like the opening start of D1 when you go to the Dreadnought for the first time. You land on the outskirts of the ship. This is that area. It looks very similar to it.
Well, baseline, some inspiration for this activity was looking at Shattered Realm, the Coil, and of course, the Dreadnought's patrol spaces. Of course, we are in the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just for starters, what you're actually doing inside the Dreadnought is baseline, the patrol zones are randomized and varied. The encounters inside.
Okay, so these are patrol zones. They're calling them patrol zones, but they also said it was an activity. So and they load in like this is the thing. So can I just go there and just do nothing and just chill out? Like I'm not convinced to do this, not a patrol space, because they said that it is. So
are varied and randomized as well. So time over time, when you launch into the activity, it's going to be a different starting bubble, different encounters, and different events and objectives for you to engage with and accomplish as you're.
So you're not going to be able to choose where you start at. It's just random. So you're just going to randomly spawn it somewhere in the ship. You cannot actually naturally go where you want by flying into it.
Exploring the Dreadnought itself.
Yeah. What kind of like modifiers would you say players are going to go up against in here? Because surely they're not just going to go into the Dreadnought and get a warm welcome necessarily.
Yes. Yeah, so the Nether has some very unique modifications to it that we're experimenting with. So first off, players do not regenerate health. And to compensate for that, we are doing something special where we're providing...
Ha! Okay. We don't regenerate health. How do we make content harder? We just make it to where you just die. Got you. And they brought back the token system, which I fucking hate the token system. I hate the fucking token system. It's just, especially with LFG, I just hate it. I'm okay with the score system, which they also brought back, which tells me it's going to be tied to the shitty ass loot system too.
Players with plus 300 bonus health baseline to their original HP values.
Okay, 300? Holy crap.
Shield value. So alongside that, we really want to make your health regeneration or your health as like a resource.
I'm going to wait for them. They usually talk about weapons. If they don't, I want to go back and like discuss what I'm seeing on the screen with these weapons, by the way.
Source, as you're fighting through this, as we are looking at this as a very rogue-lite experience, and we need resources to contend with to make and hit that rogue-lite emphasis.
So your health is a resource. Do I know an MMO that makes your health a resource? Like intentionally outside of like just playing the game and not dying. Like Diablo 4, the resources is like the runes and the material and making potions.
Just unlight there, of course, because this is still a very uniquely Destiny experience. And we have a lot of things contributing to that as well. So we do have ammo scarcity as well, so players won't be getting as much ammo, but there will be ways and avenues to get health and ammo drops in the activity, as well as boons that will improve your power over time as you engage with the activity.
That progressive sort of idea of like power and building up how strong you are as you're moving through the Nether.
Okay, so they brought this back from Season of the Deep. I'll be honest, I fucking hated deep dives. Finishers grant a strand grenade which detonates into many unraveling projectiles. This, however, does seem better. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be $150. This is better than getting like slight increase to grenade energy. Like I fucking hate deep dives, but this looks like an improvement from that system. So I'm more willing to like, okay.
That roguelite experience.
Hi.
It's also
buff, increased elemental damage dealt, corruption, drain, grenade, and class ability. Okay.
Reflective of that narrative of like building yourself up, pushing deeper into the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is resisting you. It's trying to make sure you can't like move towards the Echo and figure out what's going on. And this is you finding ways to like pierce the veil and move beyond their barrier.
Okay, this reminds me of the showdown of Oryx. Like, but this is not his throne world. It looks like it is, but it's not. Not throne world, but like, you know, his like hive throne.
Some new challenges obviously warrant new strategies.
Yeah,
the way as well.
Absolutely. And then you saying like ammo and health is
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like a resource, so you're not seeing it drop off of enemies and stuff like that. But
maybe it is his throne.
Find like a resource and collect and all that.
Yeah, so we have destination materials. We have urns and pots kind of placed around everywhere. And
oh, god damn it. We're back with pot simulator. Fuck, dude. I hate that.
And also destination chests that players can find. And when
I'm okay with that.
you break these destructible pots, they'll explode into like a rain of health, ammo, heavy ammo, sometimes boons.
So it's actual goodies?
Sometimes revive tokens. I forgot to mention we are using revive tokens here as a resource as well. So you really need to manage, but like there are avenues to get more revive tokens. There is more avenues to get health and ammo. So we really want players to explore the Dreadnought and encourage that exploration by looking for these urns, looking for the chests, and like searching for those boons, because there's multiple avenues and like ways for players to search out and go get them.
Yeah, and I mean that resource scarcity is really going to make you want to chase those down, and I can imagine that health is a sight for sore eyes.
Absolutely.
To that end as well, actually, you know, obviously you mentioned we're back at the Dreadnought, but I can't imagine it's the exact same one. Can you tell us a little bit about how the Dreadnought has changed?
Yeah, so since the Echo has hit the Dreadnought, a lot of the spaces have changed changed and like modified. A lot of the skin, Naka skin of the Dreadnought ship has like peeled back, revealing bone and chitin and
Create a solar wave on slide. Okay.
showing off new secrets, new pathways. So you
While sprinting, gain stacks of bolt charge. Release the charge by damaging a target with your melee ability.
You are in familiar spaces if you've played the Dreadnought before, but there is a lot of new, interesting, unique pathways. Things have changed. Things have become abnormally different.
Oh, yeah. There goes our fire team.
And that's the last we ever saw of that Guardian ever again. As mysteriously as they arrived, they were gone.
Yep.
And we've kind of like, for players who are wanting that explorative aspect, right? We've kind of like separated out the modes a little bit, so people can go in and they can explore the Dreadnought, but people who are like looking to just bust through the activity and get loot, they have a different match-made mode, right?
Absolutely. So the Nether has
So there's the exploration mode, and there's a actual, like, we want to do the activity mode. Okay.
currently 3 modes. So there's the Nether exploration for those solo type experiences, but they can bring their fire team in as well if they like to. And this is more of like that patrol-esque experience that you're looking for. I want to explore at my own like pace. I want to look for secrets.
Okay, I will give them credit because that's a big complaint with the community is, can I play solo? Yes, you can play solo now. Bungie finally listened and say, hey, this is seasonal content. There's no fucking way you shouldn't be able to play how you want to play. Congratulations. Now you can play solo or with friends. It's that simple. And I don't know if it is gonna be easier.
I want to just engage with the space like it was a patrol space back in the day.
Yeah.
It still is the Nether experience.
What's up, Firestone?
Where you're going from, you're playing through the 3 bubbles and there's escalating difficulty. But we do grant to you.
So it's the coil. This is the coil 2.0. That is essentially. God damn it. I mean, the coil's fine. I didn't mind it, but like, damn, we're really, Jackie. We're people will know that reference. We're really gonna go back and do just instead of menagerie. Now we're gonna do the coil to the hell and back.
In that mode, a multitude of revives. So you have a way larger pool of revives, so you can make mistakes.
Sure.
It's just for those players who want to like explore at their own whim, play at their own pace. And then additionally, there's also damage modifiers for those players when they're engaging with bosses as a solo player, so they can actually tackle those hurdles as they come.
What about the loot? This is a seasonal activity. What about the loot? This is what I want to know, Bungie. Solo players out there if they're going to play this activity and you need to give them a reason to do this. It's also exploring. Like, is there a reason to fucking explore? Or like we just sitting here saying, hey, how's the kids? And driving by and we're getting shit all? Like, I'm very interested. What's up, Fuxies? Luke Cat. Maybe so sad only a few things from the stream got me even slightly excited. We're going to find out more. Let's keep going.
And also some modifiers on like how many enemies are spawning, so they don't need to like get swarmed by every single enemy.
All this sounds great for casuals and new players and solo players. I'm interested about the loot. The mausoleum, ooh.
Really taking the skybox for a little while and hang out with your buddies. Yeah.
This is a D1 area.
If you do get lost, because this is, we didn't want to overclutter the spaces with objectives, because there is a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of different things to do in every single bubble and location that you go to in the Dreadnought. If you do get lost, you just pop open your ghost, and there'll be a bunch of star objective icons that'll like.
Oh my God. It's that easy, Bungie. It is that easy. It is that easy to put a tooltip on the fucking game to explain how to do the fucking thing. Oh my God, it's just that easy. It's just that easy, Bungie. I can't believe we did tonics and all this other stupid ass crap and there was no explanation for anyone on how to do it. It just literally do tooltips or indicators where to go, what to do. It's just that easy.
Let you know where you should be looking and where you should be going. For the next spot.
Wow!
Talking back to those different modes, we do have the match-made mode on advanced baseline difficulty, and then we do have expert as well.
Very cool. Okay, so plenty of challenges for the Guardians that want to undertake those. Make sure they're pushing not only themselves, but the opportunity to get loot as far as they possibly can.
Absolutely. And on that loot note as well.
I just want to point out, I'm seeing Bolt Charge and I'm seeing like Thunderlord come from this little legendary unless I don't think it's exotic, but I'm seeing mini Thunderlord right now.
Every time you complete a bubble, there is a chest checkpoint, so you do get loot checkpoints essentially.
Okay.
And like the average runtime for like a bubble is 8 to 12 minutes, but you do get the most loot by completing the entire activity as a whole.
Okay. 8 to 12 minutes per bubble. That's not a lot of time, and it's checkpoint based. So it sounds like you can play the way you want. So new players, casual players, if you don't have a lot of time, you're going to be able to get some loot and go. And it's not going to take it's not going to be another Salvations Onslaught or Prison of Elders. That sounds like you're going to be able to get some loot and get out. That's great. I think that was a big community complaint, and I did criticize them for that. So, shout out. Again, this is not going to impact me at all unless I really want to play casual one day, in which case that does happen. Okay, I will give credit where it's credit due. That was a complaint. They're acknowledging it. Did I put any of this so far? Arc focus. I'm seeing it. They haven't addressed it yet. They also have not directly addressed time gates. I'm going to say quality of life with the tooltips and just the fact that you can do activities without actually spending all your time doing it. That I'm going to say give them the quality of life. I know that's a T and it should be L, quality of life. We're not getting Menagerie and Noah's not there yet. And then it seems like it is a patrol space, but it's not. I don't know.
But there are checkpoints for players who just want to jump in for like 8 to 12 minutes, hit that loot checkpoint, like, okay, I'm out for now, or players who want to just like rush through it and get all the loot at every single end of every single bubble checkpoint.
Very cool. Okay. All right. And then also, I think, in addition to the modifiers we're talking about, the boon system is one that I heard you mention a little bit earlier. I'd love to actually kick off the conversation about that. I think
Is the boon system the new tonic system?
We saw the folks in chat that were eagle-eyed, that were keeping an eye on the modifiers, may have seen something a little bit earlier before. But can you tell us a little bit about the boon system?
Yeah, so the boons here are, we have a multitude of boons. We have minor boons.
Okay, I'm assuming this is the currency for tonics and Revenant, and not for, hopefully, Heresy. Please, for the love of God, tell me this is outdated.
Major boons and corrupted boons. So minor boons are minor stat increases that are pretty much just increase your power and incrementally stack. They can stack up to 10. And they're just like the typical like increased light damage, increased darkness damage, movement speed on kills. Some are like based on health and regenerate health, and are typical like mobility increases.
Oh, okay. Boons are the things we looked at like
and allow you to tackle.
Okay, so boons are just the roguelike thing. Okay. So what about tonics? We know that has nothing to do with tonics. Then what about tonics?
The more difficult bubbles as you approach them.
Yeah.
And then additionally, we have major boons.
Yeah.
And then from there, they're like actually more larger gameplay modifiers that actually affect your abilities and your actions.
Yeah.
And of course now, we do have Eric.
That's right. Yes, actually. So anyone
Who's
at
Eric?
home that may have noticed,
Well, it's definitely a black dude, but not Noah. I'm trying to remember who this guy is, but he's not Noah. He's not the G. Like, shout out F's in the chat for Noah not being in this.
our good friend Nico, please give him a shout out in chat and let him know that you love him, has stepped out of the scene for just a moment, and we are now joined by
This is a broken man. This is a man that doesn't want to be here. This is a man that is not excited to be there. This is a man who does not want to be here. Just, there's a clear difference between this guy.
gameplay feature lead, Eric Smith. Eric, how's it going, man?
That is a guy that's not happy to be there.
Doing well. How are you?
Serenity, doing well, thank you. You guys?
There's a clear difference between that guy and this guy. There's a clear difference of wanting to be here in the stream versus not wanting to be here. There's a clear difference. There is such a fucking clear difference of interaction. By the way, that's becoming up a picture for Thunder Hot Girls.
You guys are all so nice today. I'm so taken aback. For anyone that may not have seen you in the Vidocs or anything like that, can you tell us
Just so if you're interested, 2 of those are my ex-girlfriend. No, I'm not deleting them.
Just a little bit about who you are, what you do here at Bungie as a gameplay feature lead.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm Eric Smith, gameplay feature lead on Destiny 2. So I help create the game's abilities, kind of anything the player can do, the game feel of the game, build crafting, kind of general sandbox stuff, and kind of make the controller disappear into your hands while you're playing.
Yeah, the many tools we use, you're helping go ahead and make sure that they're all available for us.
For the mouse and keyboard as
yeah,
well.
Right, those two.
I'm just sitting there tapping on an empty
Wait,
desk.
whoa.
Player can do, the game feel of the game, build crafting, kind of general sandbox stuff. And
Okay, so you're the guy that's responsible for mods. Here's my criticism. Please fix the mod system, please. Can we have better, more adverse, more build in mods? Please? Please? I beg you.
kind of make the controller disappear into your hands while you're playing.
Yeah, the many tools we use, you're helping go ahead and make sure that they're all available for us.
For the mouse and keyboard as
yeah,
well.
Right, those-
Yes, F. I want to just clarify. My ex-girlfriend is a she, her. Even though she's a he, she, oh God, there's not he. She's a she, her, and she has got now went from she, her to gone and so long. That's the new pronouns for my ex-girlfriend is gone and so long.
I'm just sitting there tapping on an empty desk. That's how my trials teammates.
And mine is sad and dead inside.
So we're talking about the boon system. You obviously had a big hand in this as well. Rather. Can you tell us a little bit about what this system is for, and maybe about the boons the players are going to have available?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of boons available. There are the minor boons that you mentioned, and then there's the major boons. So the major boons are more gameplay affecting, and they will do things like, kind of like we saw in the Pale Heart with the Traveler's Blessings, right? Mm-hmm. Where you pick something up and it kind of gives you a new ability almost. Mm-hmm. One of those in the Pale Heart was Solar Slide, where you run and slide and a solar wave would go out and blow things up.
Yeah.
In this, I'm
gonna be honest. They're talking about the Pell. Mine is literally like my thoughts. The Pale Heart. Who actually fucking interacted with the blessings? He was not excited to be here. Like Noah. Like I know. Hold on. Destiny 2, Revenant, Act 2, Dev live stream. I know you want to see this, but it's a night and day difference between this dude and the other dude. Let's just go here.
So they're also
Rather is going to get some nice buffs. You were saying the repulsor brace, both hell rounds.
Yeah. I'll be very excited to see this. This is one of my favorite intros.
The grand reveal.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see here. And you were saying the Dread and the Taken are working together in this one, right?
I'd say the Taken are kind of taking the helm of the Dread right now, not because
like this dude, he's more excited. Like, let's be honest. That dude, Noah, much more excited.
We have Solar Slide as well, but we also have Stasis Slide, where you run and you slide, and a big stasis wave comes out and makes crystals and freezes.
No, but seriously, I think this is improvement for the fact that's part of baked into the activity. But Hellheart Blessings was just pointless. It had no value.
Freezes things, and you can blow them up yourself. And there's stuff.
Yeah, it's so forgettable.
Allow you to heal more effectively. There's
reduce damage per piece of episodic armor worn up to 4 pieces. So that's how they're gonna make you wanna. They're gonna make you actually want to use the episodic armor.
Like, ooh, this one's interesting. Reduces damage per piece of episodic armor worn.
Oh, cool.
It is quite significant boost as well.
Yep.
Significant.
So
there it is. They found a reason for you to give a shit about the episodic armor.
There's a bunch, and then finally we have the kind of kiss curse boons, as we call them, but they have a official.
Oh, you can actually see what you've acquired. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, the corrupted boons. And
here we go. We're looking at one right now.
Yeah, so these corrupted boons are offered at the same time as major boons, as players can only obtain 5 to 6 major boons / corrupted boons per run through. Those are granted to players once randomly at one of the 3 encounters inside of the bubble, and then again at the end of the bubble once they complete it. And there's some ritual loop stuff too that will allow them to get another one at the start of a bubble or the start of a run through. But these Kiss Curse or Corrupted Boons,
we are essentially attrition is on at all times because that's what the pot does. It gives you attrition,
as we call them, essentially give you a great bonus or increase to a specific thing at the cost of a major negative. So one, for example, here that I'm really fond of is Glass Cannon, which increases all damage massively, while also increasing all the damage you take.
Yeah.
So,
which is also, that's the dev name internally, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the dev name.
So if you don't find one specifically named Glass Cannon, we are obviously, we hang out in our own Word docs and Excel sheets quite a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And that one is interesting. It's an interesting choice that you can make since the kind of like the risk to reward ratio, right? Because you have non-regenerating health in here, you really have to come at each encounter with that kind of mindset of health as a resource.
It is.
And make sure that, if I take damage from this enemy or that enemy, it has the potential to stick with me unless I can find a healing source.
Yeah, really got a fire team option too, where it's like every time you're offered those major boons, your teammates can also choose different ones. So it's like, oh hey, 2 of us are going to do that glass cannon, or that external. And then another person is going to do, oh hey, every time I do a finisher, things are volatile around me and I get my grenade back. So I can spam more of those, keep you a bit safer when you get swarmed by things.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's pretty much what deep dives were, but thanks for repeating the same thing.
It's also good to know on the health regeneration aspect, we have the Gameplay and Sandbox team has tuned a lot of the abilities and weapons that do heal players, so they're not extremely overpowered. So there's been a wide tuning pass on all of this entirely, so you're gonna see when you're trying.
So here's the deal. They changed support frames because of this activity. They nerf like made it based on range because of this activity. Last time they made activity or changed things based on an activity, we got Reckoning. Though technically it started off based on well and all that stuff, but then once it was nerfed, they started changing things around, changing the guns and abilities around activities to make them less potent. Like Bungie does this all the time.
Trying to heal up your teammate with one of our new support auto rifles. It's gonna take some time, but it does work and it is very efficient and very helpful, especially the abilities. So you're definitely going to want to spec into healing builds.
Oh, man, I have to just give a shout out to the team on like Season of the Deep. We were going deep into the oceans of Titan, and now it feels like we're going deep into space, and like the pressure you can feel it, tentacles taking energy. Like they knocked it out of the park with the vibe here. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic.
I'm still confused though. Like it's the Taken, but like what happened to the Hive? Like I know, like does the Taken make tentacles? Like it feels more like I don't know. It just feels weird.
But also,
I didn't know the Taken make tentacles.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Trees.
So, in addition to, there's obviously modifiers you're going to be facing as a Guardian, as a fire team. There'll be boons available to you, but this episode as well is going to bring with it a bevy of new gear between both armor and weapons. Now, obviously, for the keen-eyed Guardians in chat who are watching, there's obviously some seasonal armor, some episodic armor sets that we have here that you can go ahead and check out firsthand. But I think, kind of in the spirit of this activity and build crafting, let's talk about some of the weapons. Actually, there's one.
Oh, finally, we're getting to the weapons. Finally, we get to it, baby.
Given that health is
the crap I care about,
precious resource in this activity, Eric, can you tell us?
I'm gonna say right now that I'm probably not gonna do a 1-for-1 because we're already like 50 minutes in, and we're only 20 minutes. I'm probably gonna have to edit the hell out of this after I'm done. I do want to play a little bit of the game. Yeah, I just there's a lot of fluff in this that just they talk to talk. And it doesn't really add any value to the game, in my opinion. Like, we're sitting here having a circle jerk, and that's it.
A little bit about this one.
Yeah, so this is Adamantite. This is our new Strand support auto.
That's cool.
And it has some really unique features.
Okay, so one of the big problems with, let's see, did I put anything about it? Okay, I want to see some shiny weapons. One of the biggest problems with this game, or Revenant and Echoes, is that there maybe Echoes had a couple choice picks, but Revenant, there's just all the weapons were mid, very forgettable. I already can tell I'm gonna want this auto rifle because support frames are generally better than regular auto rifles, and it's strand. So, and I just hope it has good perks.
One of those is that when I heal enemies, so
Also, I'm eagle-eyeing this right now. Taking the King's Fall Origin perk is now back on the menu, boys. That means anything it's going to be built in is going to have overload ammo opportunities. Huge.
So these support autos, there's 2 of them in the game now. When I hip fire at an ally, it'll send out kind of healing rounds at them, right? And then if I need to, shoot an enemy right next to that ally, I can just ADS and go full offense, right? Yeah. But the healing from this, because you're shooting out strand rounds, if you heal an ally repeatedly, it'll actually cause them to sprout little unravel seeds, which kind of turns them into this like short-term, strand turret.
Throw your friend as a grenade into the fight. Right?
Yeah, cover them in Telesto boats, put it in.
I was trying to click this to see what the thing was.
It'll actually cause them to sprout little unravel seeds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which kind of turns them into this like short-term.
This is what I'm so janky with streaming and catching things. I just want to do this so I can see what it says. Like, this is obviously something. All right, complete encounters and nether activity. Completing encounters on expert difficulty awards additional progress. Okay.
Strand turret.
Throw your friend as a grenade into the fight. Right?
Cover them in Telesto boats, put it in. But now it's like, oh, hey, I'm healing you and making you.
Let your hunter friend with the Caliban's Liar's Handshake roll run in there and just keep him alive, right?
And that's why I'm so excited about this activity, because we've kind of introduced all these kind of healing things, but in a lot of the game, like, I can just hide behind a box and heal, right? And here you can see our health isn't regenerating. So we need to really think about, maybe there is a dedicated healer on your.
I'm going to give an opinion that I don't know how other people feel about this. I'm okay with the capping the health. What they're saying is true. There's no reason to be a healer in this game outside of like day ones. Like most content, you can self heal yourself. Like, there's no reason. Bungie is wanting to do class identity with like a support build, but support builds don't fucking exist in this game to the extent that it matters. I'm okay with this. I'd rather them do the, hey, you don't regen health, than we just make everything one-shot you. There is nothing more lazy, in my opinion, than just increasing the damage of an enemy and just say, haha, get good. I'm sorry. I'm okay with them doing this. This is a better way of doing it, where you have to play smarter, have a team composition. I'm just tired of, oh, what's that? You have max everything, you're in a well, and then something just one-shots you because fuck damage.
Team, maybe there's multiple allies using healing rounds, right?
Yeah, honestly, that build crafting is kind of transcending now beyond yourself, just to like per activity, per fire team.
I think we're about to play Diablo 4, guys. I don't know about you, but I think we're about to play Diablo 4. Replace shards with dust, and we have Diablo 4. Why we've got sigils now? Don't tell me sigils is new tonics. Fuck. Okay, well, I don't think they're going to talk about this system.
Whatever you've got. So this one's obviously going to be a ton of fun, but that is far from the only weapon that's being added around. As far as the episodic weapons, are there any others in particular you want to call out?
There are. I do actually want to talk about this one with one more thing.
Oh,
so
please.
This weapon can roll slice and tear.
What the hell is tear?
Two perks that.
They did it. I knew they were talking about. Lumina is a niche case though. No one barely really wants to do Lumina as like a safe build. We're back, boys. Actually, this is the first time we had seasonal adept, so.
Sever enemy.
Okay, so we've got double perks, shiny weapons, but is it a true shiny? I don't know.
Yeah. It's not often we get a primary legendary weapon that can debuff in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And that's going to play into things like the artifact this season, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
So what you're telling me is you're going to want to chase this gun right here for more than one reason. You're going to want to chase the adept version of this gun. At least I have something to chase, unless Bungie gives you a god roll in the season pass for some fucking reason.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
So there's Adamantite, which is a really solid weapon. And then let's look at Psychopomp. So Psychopomp is our
Psycho what?
new area denial grenade launcher.
Such a good name.
I love it. Yeah.
It's just Psychopomp.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Psychopomp,
I mean, it looks like Mountaintop,
so these area
with-
denial
but it-
grenade launchers.
good
The
enough.
fantasy of these things is like a flamethrower, right? We don't have flamethrowers in the game. But this is as close as you can get to a flamethrower. So I imagine I'm using one every time I use this thing.
I'm going to now.
This thing has a really cool new perk on it that
Rolling Thunder. Final blows grant bolt charge. Well, amplified final blows grant additional bolt charge. I don't know if this is enough for me to waste a special slot for a GL when we have GLs with like chill clip, like liturgy. Not in this slot, obviously. Well, if we have the orbprinter.com, like why would you ever use this over like baton?
keys into our new ARC keyword.
I'm sorry. Bungie really is trying to sell ARC. I'm just not impressed. There's nothing about ARC that screams, yeah, this is day one material. I'm sorry. Just because you shred out basic trash ads doesn't mean it's good. So they are definitely trying to do ARC focus here. It's not working for me.
Bolt charge, which we'll also talk about in a bit. And also it works with Amplify.
I'm sure
as
it's
well.
fun.
So this thing...
I'm going to say it now. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fun. Like if you want to do general like raids, you could definitely do it. But for like end game content, I'm probably just going to use Prismatic.
If you are ARC build crafted this season and ARC has received a ton of love, this thing is going to absolutely slay out.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I get to see our fire team put it to good use here, but as someone who's been building area denial grenade launchers into my loadout,
All right, Willing Vessel. Let's read this together. I just want to boop, boop, boop. Willing Vessel. Dealing damage or defeating targets with this weapon gradually grant increased stability. Handling, reload speed, and charge rate. This effect gradually decreases over time, but this is gained more quickly while near allies. You get stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. I don't, maybe for PvP, for PvE, like this is a nothing burger origin trait. I think I would run, so it feels like this is meant for PvP, and then PvE, you just run the runneth over, which this one doesn't have for some reason.
I can't wait. Honestly, the second I learned this was on the docket, I was so excited.
The folks that have been working on these weapons too, like the general look of them, it goes along with what you were saying of.
I mean, it looks clean.
Peeling back. If you look at the weapon, you can see like, oh my gosh, there's like
the bone.
There's
the
core.
Yeah.
It does go hard.
While I've got you, also,
And it has glows. Like, dude, the glow looks badass.
The previous one on Adamantite, that one was an adept weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me pull out.
Wait,
my
why?
handy
They also
dandy
look
notebook.
different.
There we go.
Oh, here's the meme.
Screen cap. Yeah.
But yeah, you can notice that for this go of our episodic weapons, you can earn adept weapons, and these are we're considering or calling them our heretical arsenal.
Got it.
Heresy, heretical.
Yeah.
Like we're going deep into this.
It's not
theme.
theoretical. It's heretical. Love it. Yeah.
You can see that it has a new or a different treatment to the colors. It's kind of like the hollow foils from Into the Light.
Okay. Yeah.
Not.
All right, baby. Not only is it adept, but shiny weapons return. Whoop, 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 whoop. Shiny weapons return. Finally, a fucking reason to care. Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
So much exactly that of, hey, it's an ornament, but like this has the base.
It's just a
style and all that.
customization. Looks
Really good.
badass.
Shout out to the team. But you can also notice there are multiple perks in each column. There's actually an extra origin trait as well Shout out Taken King, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you can only get that. Okay.
But there's a very interesting ways of earning these weapons. So you're going to be going into these activities, upping that difficulty. You're going to be exploring the Dreadnought and looking for these. As well with the episodic weapons, there are going to be new fragile mods. So they're called fragile because these will be expiring at the close of the episode.
Okay.
But they're going to give you pretty insane bonuses to your outgoing power. So not necessarily the power of the weapon, but the actual like versatility of it.
Yeah.
One of these, I have the power of resolve. Rapid hits. They create Taken Seekers. They're really good against champs.
Yeah.
So that's an example. There are going to be a couple at launch and then more coming with each act.
Yeah.
But these will be great in Nightfall.
So they've introduced artifact mods, but then seasonal mods that you can use on these weapons, I'm assuming, to get special effects. Okay. I still feel like that's not good because I would rather have actual build crafting that lasts instead of seasonal build crafting. I feel like we should address the problem with the fact that there is no real build crafting as is for armor. This feels like we're putting a band-aid on the problem rather than actually addressing the main problem.
Be great in higher content.
Champions and shambles.
Yeah. And then for when you're going in and earning these weapons, there was a ton of feedback, and we absolutely heard you. We're listening about the tonic system. So there are things with like the user experience was a bit rough of having to go back in, create more tonics, trigger them in the middle of activities because they were running out.
Yeah.
The team really took that to heart. They want to make sure that there's agency in how you're earning these weapons. So they're going to be making it through the Tome of Want. You can kind of target these weapons. You don't need to go in and do this a ton of times. You can say, hey, I want to go for this auto rifle. I want to go for this grenade launcher, linear fusion rifle, and I really want to be going for that to try to get these heretical versions.
Okay.
So effectively, like, I don't want to say more loot because it's not going to be like, oh, hey, you're getting 10 times more.
Yeah.
But it's going to feel like, oh, hey, I have a goal of getting this loot, and now I'm going to go and play the game and get what I'm looking for.
Definitely. No, it's super exciting, honestly. Just having those more opportunities to just, break your loadouts out a little bit, find new ways to go ahead and really excel, especially given the challenges we're going to be going up against on the Dreadnought.
And with the fragile mods, like it's baking into the
Okay. They address the issue of targeting, and it sounds like you are going to be guaranteed like attunement, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be on all the time, like attunement. Also, they have not addressed the concerns of every act having different attunements, like different materials that you have to farm. We know sigils is part of it. So there's a new material called sigils, sigil powder or whatever, dust or whatever the hell it's called. It's comparable to Diablo 4. We know we're going to have to farm new material. So it's not actually a one-for-one attunement like we want. It's not addressing the concern of the busy XYZ fieldwork bullshit. They haven't said anything about whether that's returning or not, which improve the efficiency of crafting and interacting with tonics, and so they haven't actually addressed that at all. I'm not satisfied with the tonic. I'm just not. There's nothing that gives me faith in this at all. I don't think they adequately addressed it.
that exploration. Like
they addressed one singular problem, which is it's not guaranteed. But also the main problem was took fucking forever to farm for the stupid ass shit to target farm in the first place. You had this like PhD of figuring out how to get these unlocked. Then you had to do field work to make it easier to craft, and you had to go get so many material from each activity, and then you could actually target farm. It's like so much. It was too much bullshit. Too much. What I call retention bait.
And how do you find them again?
Yeah, so they can be found through secrets and chests found in the Nether. They're spread out. They're hidden pretty well, but I imagine folks will find them over time or through some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But
Rick Cack is here.
We're gonna wait for.
Circle jerk number 2. Wow. Yep. Let's keep it going. Whoops.
We won't miss it this time. Fallout, obviously. If you could make some guides for us, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Oh, there it is. There's number 3, circle jerk. Add another 1x. More circle jerking. Let's go.
So
Isword.
Iswerg, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
One of the best communities out there.
Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I mean, the last keyword I want to throw on there is aspirational.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want to have tools that players want to go and find, want to earn, and increase their power.
Yeah. So we've got a couple.
I will say it seemed this is just one gun. So far, it looks good. Let's be honest. This is just one gun. We've seen two guns, actually three, because we saw the heavy LMG, which looks like Hammerhead, our Hammerhead. This looks good, but I know we're getting an LMG. We're getting the aerial denial. We're getting the auto rifle. We're getting a sidearm. I think we're also getting a fusion rifle. So I know that's like, it depends on the other guns. Is one gun that I really want to get going to be enough to make people play the content? I don't know.
More weapons I definitely want to talk about because we're reprising some as well. But while we have a brief reprieve from combat, I'd love to actually go ahead. I know you mentioned earlier aspects, Eric.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look really quickly. We got our friendly neighborhood warlock here up first.
Okay.
Can you tell us about the new aspects?
They're going to talk about the aspects. I don't care. How often, they're just going to keep talking about aspects. I'm going to skip the aspects because we fucking know what they do. So I'm not going to, like, oh my God, how long? 29? They spend like almost 10 minutes talking about new aspects. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you right now, none of the aspects make me like excited, except for maybe the on the prow. There's nothing that's moving the needle for me. Except for on the prow, possibly, because you just make everyone invisible all the time. Everything else, meh.
You just gave me the best segue I could possibly imagine. We have looked, obviously, we've begun to scratch the surface of some of the new build crafting opportunities.
Okay, they're going to talk about the artifact. That's what I want to do.
We got a new artifact as well this episode. We've got the Tablet of Ruin, which seems aptly named.
Okay.
Now, just as a starting point, can you let us know the general theme of this one?
Yeah.
This is what I care about the most. The artifact. This is the shit that I hate. I really hate about this. All right, we've got fusions. Fusions for unstoppable. LMG for overload. Sidearm for anti-barrier. Sniper for anti-barrier. And then glaives. Actually, like I do like unstopped glaives. I feel like the new one with stasis chill clip is going to be pretty good. Though it can inherently deal with unstops. But okay. I don't know if there was anything else that's popping up here. I don't see any other unstops. Yeah, so let's look at this. Special, heavy, special. There's only one primary weapon as an anti-champion capability. There is one. There is a singular weapon that you can use. You have to use heavy and specials to do anti-champion capabilities. Bungie, what the fuck is wrong with you? What? Again, until the day I die, fuck off with your shitty ass artifacts.
So the theme of this episode's artifact is kind of subjugation and bending enemies to your will.
Yeah.
Essentially, as we are going back.
I don't know why they're going over the aspects for so long. Like the people watching didn't see the TWAB. Like, yeah, let's be honest. Most people, how are people going to know that there was a stream in the first place? They watched the TWAB or someone told them. And if they told them, they probably told them about the new aspects. Yeah.
Dreadnought. It was unlikely that the Dread or the Hive were going to come peacefully. So we got to bring the big guns to force their hand.
Absolutely.
Essentially.
Yeah, it's not about us winning, it's about them losing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Tower of Ruin is there to ruin their day, essentially. But yeah, so
he's definitely smiling.
Some highlights of mine from here. If we look at column 5, because column 5,
column 5's a strong one.
That's where
we got to go right to the chase.
We have Void. Which one is it? It's called
Void Flux. Defeating weakened targets with a void weapon applies a volatile to nearby targets. Powerful targets increase the radius of explosion. For Gerfalcon, that's nice. But for a tier 5, is that really that good? No.
Void Flux, that's it. Void Flux. So defeating weakened targets
Weak.
with a void weapon applies volatile to nearby targets, and then you pair that with the column 4 maligned harvest.
Rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of void weapon to create a weakening burst. Okay, so you have to use 2 specific perks to get this benefit. Like Weaken provides a small void overshield. Okay, so they brought back the boost. So the tonic system is still technically in play, so you can get an overshield. For hunters, this is amazing. Just because you can keep volatile up like all the time, and then you're getting weakening with overshield. Like Warlock, maybe Titan. I just don't see Titan benefiting from this very often, but I definitely see Hunter loving it.
And rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of void weapon damage to weaken, which then feeds back into the other one. And it's like if you can get this this engine going, you know, in a crowded room, it's nasty.
With
Me and my fellow
Hunter, you
Fighting
can.
Lion, addicts are gonna have a really good time. This one I can already tell. The Fighting Lion subreddit, I want to see some clips. That's
And
all
then
I'm saying.
I also want to call out Horde Shuttle in
Yeah,
here.
please.
So Horde Shuttle, damaging unraveled targets with a weapon, occasionally spawns a Threadling. This is really good for your
Threadlings still suck ass. Please. No one cares about Horde Shuttle because Threadlings still suck ass. Please do more for Threadlings. Please.
brand builds, especially against high health targets. Because I unravel them, they stay unraveled. I keep shooting them, they're just popping Threadlings out, left and right.
With a solar build, you can definitely, or not solar, void build, like void. I'm thinking of some void warlock builds. You can definitely take advantage of it. I just don't know if I want to compared to like Hunter, which is a master at it.
And then because we talked about Arc, flashover in column 4, when you gain a maximum stat charge, you also become amplified. All
right, lightning bolts deal more damage. If this is a 15% increase, this might see some life with like certain exotics and certain weapons. Like we know sniper rifles, if it can stack, like for instance, if I use a arc sniper with Darcy buffing it and it's able to build bolt charges, and you're using the Titan aspect that essentially being behind a barrier gives you in the team bolt charge. Like if they give you a really good arc sniper this season, this could be really good for DPS. Like I'm thinking in my head, using a Titan to buff everyone, you're getting bolt charge, you're casting lightning. This is increasing by 15%. You have someone debuffing the boss with like volatile or whatever the hell you care. And then you're just using snipers and you're killing, you're slaying. I can see it.
Amplified is getting a big kind of buff this episode as well to its
Threadlings is not good for DPS. That's why you see no one fucking using it. Like people use now I take that back. Linears are getting a 10% buff. They are buffing that means the Salvation's Edge exotic is going to get some love from that. So it could very well be better now with that mod. Like that combo is great, but Threadlings alone is not good. That's why you don't see anyone using it in like actual like in-game content or even like solo low mans. You just don't. They're not that good for DPS.
With survivability. So really Arc in general is it's hot. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah. It's gonna be some spicy Arc builds.
They buff the exotic arc sniper, remember. That's Darcy, and then Darcy gets a 15%, but other exotics don't. It has to be a legendary sniper to get the benefit.
This time around.
Rock 'em, shock 'em, baby.
Yeah, there you go. That's end too. Dylan, can you walk us through some of the stuff in the first column as well? We're gonna have some new champion mods to take out.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's all these really ability focused items.
I'm gonna skip ahead because we already know what they are.
It's hard.
Dealing sustained damage to fusion rifles linear partially refills the magazine from reserves and grant them bonus damage for a short duration against the target. Oh my god! Yeah, Cloud Strike will benefit the lightning strikes, but it will not benefit from Darcy's buff because it's exotic. I want you all to realize something here. All linears are getting a 10% buff. Particle deconstruction and Queenbreaker is going to be fucking nasty. It's going to be nasty. Oh my God. Your phone Cascade Strand GL rotation will be cracked. Yes, you could definitely use Euphony with this artifact mod. This might be the time that Euphony and Warlocks can really synergize and live their best life, finally. But I'm still going to think Euphony still isn't the best overall. I'm going to say Queenbreaker is going to be nasty. Nasty. But I think Euphony for Grandmasters, it's going to be on, boys. I'm excited for a Euphony. Yeah, Queenbreaker, because remember, Queenbreaker is getting a massive buff. It's going to be a 3-round burst in one of its options. And not only is the 3-round burst going to let you shoot faster, the more damage you do, I think it's like precision damage, the faster it goes down to the speed or charge rate goes down to 300. So you're going to like imagine you are spewing out bullets with Queensbreaker, and then you're activating particle reconstruction. Oh my God. You are just going to blow through your ammo with this. Boys and girls, get a Queensbreaker if you don't have it, and make sure you level that thing up. And you're absolutely going to want to go to here. Everything else is whatever. You're going to want this mod, and you're going to want to load up on some legendary fusions. You're going to want that for the day one dungeon. You're going to want that if you're trying to do contest mode. Absolutely. That's just shout. Queensbreaker, Euphony, Warlock, if you want to do that. But definitely Queensbreaker is going to be the premium pick, in my honest opinion. Having a really good legendary to swap off if you need to use an exotic slot for something else. I am more excited out of everything they have shown. I am more excited for the 10% buff, the Queensbreaker buff, and this mod. This is the most excited I am of the entire episode. And that is really fucking sad. I just want to say that is fucking sad. Merciless. Yes, it's going to, Fuxy, it's just like Merciless. It's going to ramp up and you're going to blow your load. Dual linear might even be good too. Duality. Yeah. I mean, duality is going to be good. Absolutely. Let's continue.
Back. I'm so excited. I just got my hands on the Vex Mythic Last finally. Thank you, Malachi.
Vex is going to be good too.
Honestly.
I'm going to think Vex is going to be better for the fact that you can use it in Grandmasters. I think that's going to be a great shout for Grandmasters is Vex. Time is now. It's going to be a Vex Grandmaster season.
So I have a hunch I'm going to be putting those in the main rotation pretty quickly as well.
You have Vex yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, don't rub it.
What about you?
I don't know if I have a Vex.
I didn't even get it in D1, so it was like such a moment for me. It was like a decade of waiting, right? Yeah.
I think there's a reason to go back into Vault of Glass. I mean, we can help him get his.
I'm down. I play.
I think dude, are they alluding that that was a subtle nudge? They're talking about getting him Vex, but I feel like they're gonna. Are we gonna find out when later in the season, or when the season releases? We're gonna find out that Vogue is coming back. Can I get my Adept, Big Boy Chungus, Perfect Time Lost, Fatebringer? Can I get my upgraded baby? My 20k, almost 20k kill Fatebringer is about to get upgraded. Come on, tell me, Bungie. Tell Daddy. I bet I'm coping.
Good point.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I didn't put it on the thing.
Raids, I
bet I'm coping though. I bet I'm coping.
Of the raid exotic, right? Another.
Oh, you're the guy where you get it on the first run.
I usually am, but not with Vault for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, but Matt Noguchi out there,
feast or famine, right?
Yeah.
So go back to Vault. You were saying
Vault of Glass. So there are a bunch of folks where they want crafting back. They want to do something where they have an end goal. And Vault of Glass
Don't fuck with me.
is a great opportunity for us to say, hey, you've been going through Heresy content, you want to do some raids, you want to do something else, like, yeah, we're adding weapons to Strikes, Gambit,
Don't fuck with
Crucible.
me.
We have a bunch of new weapons and
Don't
trials,
fuck with
the
me.
new
Don't
armor
fuck
set
with
trials
me!
You've seen in some of these previews.
That is
Yeah.
that's
All the
Fatebringer.
progress is getting crafting.
You son of a bitch.
Chat
You
goes
son
well.
of a bitch, you did
You
it.
can go get that Fatebringer, get it a couple times as a deep sight, craft it, and then you can make that roll that you've always wanted.
Yep. Yeah.
As you're going through Vault, let's say you want to go through and craft like 5 of the weapons that are available, then you can hop into Master with all your spoils, be going for those Adept versions, and those have a chance to drop us multiple or more perks in those columns. We've been doing this for the last few raids with craftable weapons, but now it's like, hey, I want my heathen vengeance. There's a new intrinsic perk. What's the origin trait?
Yes.
And then, let's say I'm trying to go for a combination. I could get 3 on this, and then I can enhance it.
We're fucking
This
cooking.
Crazy rocket launcher.
Oh, I'm
that's good.
so hard.
Go into Endgame,
God, I'm
do
hard.
cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Fucking hard.
We've got another weapons. I know I mentioned some reprised ones, but actually, as
I'm
long as we're
fucking
looking at
hard.
menus, Eric, I'd actually love to put you on the spot again and talk about just some of the exotics.
I'm so hard.
To be able to go ahead and acquire this episode as well. Let's start wherever you'd like to. Which one would you like to kick it off with?
Let's look at Barrow Dyad.
Barrow Dyad. I was hoping you'd say that.
So Barrow Dyad.
What the fuck is that? Dude, that looks like some Warframe shit. Like they have literally a blade that you toss. I forgot what it's called. It looks like some Warframe shit. What is that? Not only that, Warframe has like a vehicle where the Corpus literally drive around on like this single wheel like device. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this gun?
Is
Look at
a
Is that a gun?
Is that a gun?
Is that actually a gun?
it's hybrid gun for his
You know, shout out to Bungie. People can't complain that they're reusing models because I don't know what fucking they decided. Let's turn a gun, a frisbee into a gun. So here we are.
Our team does not mess around, man. That's so cool. Yeah.
So this thing is a
Taken Divergence. Hitting 3 different targets generates a large amount of blight. Blighted Seekers bore through targets. So it's like malfeasance.
strand submachine gun, and it is also a monster in combat. So this thing, as I deal damage with it, it generates this resource.
Okay, this weapon generates blight as it deals damage. While not firing, blight depletes, and the magazine is gradually refilled. Reload the weapon to convert stored blight into blight seekers. So hitting 3 targets generates blight. Not doing it will convert it into more ammo. And then shooting. So it auto reloads by using the stacks that you make. And if you don't reload, it feeds it back into it, which then you can. It feels like a balance, like a balancing act. Like you could try to overflow your mag and then get more damage because of it. That's weird.
Called Blight. And next time I reload, whether it's manual,
Yeah, new power cap is 240.
or I just run out of my mag,
Yeah, for those of you who hate power grind, it's still in the fucking season.
it's going to convert that blight into these strand seekers. That next time I, pull the trigger, it's going to fire those out.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna give them credit for making something unique. It looks fucking ugly.
They're going to bounce between enemies.
It looks
Here we go.
so
So we got some gameplay of this right now, actually.
Yes. So, but you can also see it.
Just juking everything.
The Grim is a paid actor, obviously.
Tonight is snow.
You can also see that this thing auto reloads over time. So this thing, rumor is it's partially sentient.
Yeah.
It has its own wants and
It
needs.
wants to kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you satisfy it, it's going to reward you.
Yeah.
So look how fast that.
I'm gonna say right now, power grind is the most useless thing in Destiny. It is retention bait. It is so fucking pointless. I didn't engage with it at all last episode. And the fact that you don't have to engage just gives it more of a reason why it shouldn't fucking exist. Hopefully in Frontiers, Bungie removes all power.
Ammo comes back. So what you can actually do.
You want to know where stats matter? Diablo. Actual MMOs. Destiny 2, it doesn't matter.
Is play this mini game where you are, trying to shoot enemies to build up that blight, and then you can pace yourself to auto reload to build up more blight, and then manually reload to load all those seekers into your.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
In addition, it has this perk where dealing damage to 3 different enemies generates in a short period of time, generates a large amount of blight.
Very nice. Okay, so equal opportunities to go ahead and clear out crowds, but also
why is it that I'm watching them play with this gun and it plays like ass? I'm sorry. I'm watching them try to kill like yellow bars, and I'm assuming the difficulty is ramped up to a certain level. It's doing shit all. Like, that's the problem with SMGs. They just do shit all damage to end game activities, and this is a poor representation of what this gun can do.
to just burn down the big bad that might be standing in front of you, or whichever one's foolish enough to do so.
So there are going to be player questions immediately of like, when you're talking about blight and those sorts of keywords, is this a weapon of sorrow?
That's a great question. It is not a weapon of sorrow, but
why?
You know, I heard another rumor that this thing is a kind of fossilized precursor to a weapon of sorrow.
Interesting.
But I can't, you know, confirm.
Redacted.
This, one of our top 3 favorite words, redacted.
So they're gonna make another version, like a more so this is the old one, and then there's gonna be a newer, fresh version of this gun that's gonna do other things. Or are you gonna tell me this thing evolves? Like you upgrade this thing? I don't know. That's really weird.
Okay, so this is the one, and we won't spoil how, but players will be earning this one this season. It'll have, you know, catalysts and other intrinsics to earn as well, I assume.
This thing has a lot of surprises. I don't know where.
You can leave it there,
dude.
I like that.
The range on this is ass. What am I watching?
Okay. All right. So obviously, the Barodiad will be one that will be getting added to a lot of loadouts across the entire Sol system.
Bro, what is this gun? It is so bad.
Yeah. Let's also look at our new exotic.
Oh, hold on, slow mo. We want to slow this bad boy down. Let's crispy cream. I'm gonna turn this off. I want to be able to get this bacon footage and see what's on. I want to see Pally. What are we rocking? Do we need changes to Pally Wally? Okay, you disappoint me. Come on, Bungo. Yes, it's a fucking sub. Dude, it does shit all damage. Hold on. Okay, Master of Arms, recycled energy. I knew there was something here. There's a new perk called recycled energy. And then there's whatever this is. Master of Arms. Dude, I think people are sleeping on Master of Arms for Palindrome. Like, it's like a better Rampage. And you can keep a stack. I don't know. Maybe I'm sleeping away. Yeah, I mean, it's still shit. Like, I watched him look at an enemy that was close by, and he just tickled the balls. That's, again, I'm comparing this to Endgame, which it seems like they're starting to ramp up the difficulty, versus I'm using this in a public patrol space, which it started out as that way. It looks like it ramps up. Again, we see him literally shooting an enemy right here.
In addition, it has this perk where dealing damage to 3 different
and it
enemies,
does all right damage.
In
it's all right.
Time, generates a large amount.
But I could just use an auto rifle. I just, for all the work that you have to do, for an exotic slot, I'm just telling you. Again, this is a problem with Destiny. Whether you think we should do Destiny 3 or we should do sunsetting, I'm not doing that argument. I'm just saying that we have so much in the game that it is hard to compete for opportunity and space. Would I use this over Outbreak? No. Would I use this over Kvostov? No. If I'm doing a Strand build, I would probably use Euphony because this doesn't do any Strand effects. It's Taken, but the Taken effect has nothing to do with. It does sever. It does sever. So maybe if you're doing like a support build with this gun or like champs, maybe I don't understand. Again, you're also competing for the fact that I could throw this on over instead of Queensbreaker and Vex Mythoclass. I don't know. We have to wait to see. But based on the damage and what they're doing, and the fact that he's struggling to keep up with a group of enemies, we have better options. We will have to wait to see.
Amount of light.
Very nice.
So-
Okay, so equal opportunities to go ahead and clear out crowds, but also to just
Yeah, but
burn
like-
down the big bad that might be standing in front of you, or whichever one's foolish enough to do so.
Of,
Whoa, 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 whoa. I missed the introduction.
Let's also look at our new exotic
Trace rifle?
Lodestar.
go.
Oh,
this
great. We love trace
will be
rifles.
given to players via the season pass.
At least it's unique looking.
This is the first primary ammo trace rifle ever.
So
We literally have a laser gun, like a true blue. We have a Star Wars laser gun. Clearly, a blaster. We literally have a blaster. Is that what you're telling me? We have an actual energy blaster?
So
Pew,
in
pew, pew,
hip
pew,
fire,
pew,
this
pew,
thing
pew, pew.
behaves like the trace rifle you know and love. But when you ADS with it, it's closer to a pulse rifle actually.
okay.
When you
Okay, so it's like duality. Instead of a slug and then it goes into a pellet spread. This one does trace rifle and it goes into what?
ADS, your standard pulse rifle has this kind of cadence.
Pulse
where
rifle.
prop, prop, prop,
Okay.
these, kind of spaces in between the rounds coming out. But this
So
thing
why-
is more.
My question is, this is a primary versus a special. Trace rifles generally suck ass for damage. So why the fuck would I use a primary, which is going to do less damage than a regular trace rifle? I'm wanting to see, what am I missing here? What's the extra perk that's doing something kick ass here?
The steady, EDM, BPM.
Here we go. Yeah, so players are seeing it now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're womp, 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 womp.
Yep, that's right, yeah.
And it's
Okay.
Like, it's nonstop until you run out of ammo, right?
So we got
Yeah.
Hey, they did it. They just.
sidearms,
So I'm seeing a arc alignment. What is this doing?
burst, hand cannons, your pulse rifles, and now we got a burst trace rifle. I love this kind of stuff, man.
I mean, it's cool that
Yeah,
we're getting
so
new
Outside
archetypes.
of this unique firing behavior, as I deal damage with it, you can see down in the bottom left corner we have arc alignment. And
Okay, what does that do?
Is charging the coils of the weapon. When
Okay.
it's fully charged, if I press and hold to auto reload, or sorry, special reload.
Oh, right.
As I hip fire, I jolt anything I hit.
Yeah.
Okay,
the jolt
so
is a
keyword.
debuff, right? So you can kind of charge this thing up, auto reload to go into the other fire mode, and then kind of sweep the beam across a bunch of enemies,
Yeah.
jolt them all, and then
Okay.
Paintbrush of death, this thing. Yeah.
So this is the arc synergy weapon. You want to, like, if you do jolt and it activates keywords like amplify and bolt charge, this is not as it is. If you were going to use this in its own area, it's not as strong, but it's very good for building into the keyword of bolt charge and the arc hit. Because just because something, like, I could use a legendary weapon that literally has jolting feedback that could do the same thing, or bolt shot. This seems like a juiced up version of that really lets you build into the fact that you can just hit a wave of enemies, activating amplify, doing damage. I can see that. I can see the utility of it, and the fact that you could, if it continues to apply jolt across the board, like you just, as long as you hold the trigger, everything gets jolt. That means you can deal damage to multiple champions, and jolt stuns champions. So the fact that you can just, and there you go, champions are dealt with, and this has long range, like kind of like a scout, like a pulse scout rifle. It's not that bad. It sounds pretty good for champions, like grandmasters. I can see myself using it.
And then the final perk this thing has is when ADS, any time you defeat a arc debuffed enemy, they explode into a blinding explosion. So it's
There it is. You're adding bolt charge. You're stunning champions. You're bolting everything or jolting everything. You're probably activating amplify, and you're blinding. That is a lot of arc synergy. So for what it's trying to do, I think it's a good, like, I'm looking at like centrifuge. I don't like centrifuge. I do like this. This seems like a better centrifuge.
It's this loop where I can charge it up, I jolt enemies,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
defeat the jolted enemies with the ADS shot, which explodes and damages more enemies, which charges it up. And
Yeah.
it's
By the way, you don't even have to use this on arc. they're using you can use this on prismatic and activate prismatic keywords like going invisible and all that stuff, because if you're activating it and you're always applying jolt and blinding and all these keywords, like you don't even need to use arc to benefit from this. Prismatic will clearly synergize.
Loop continues, honestly, yeah.
This thing has, I think, a really high skill ceiling.
And this is just this one weapon loop. There's obviously all the different artifact mods. There's all the new aspects. There's the new gear we're going to have available to us with the Dreadnought. Theory crafters, update your spreadsheets. The time has begun.
You can. There's some big brain combos you can pull off.
Yeah, and I will be counting on stealing all of them. All right, so we also, really quickly before we move on, we have some new armor as well with Trials. Dylan, can you briefly tell us a little bit as well about the new update?
I'm going to skip the armor. We already know about armors.
The Lighthouse experience. So
I want to read this while we're talking. Time Lost Magazine. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus super energy. Oh, when your super expires, this weapon's magazine size is doubled for a long duration and reloads from reserves. Okay, you crack this up to like what, 14? You get 28, but you also just continues to be 28, and it auto reloads from reserves. Oh, sweet Jesus! And it has thresh built into it. Oh, Daddy is getting his beautiful juicy. I'm gonna live in VOG next episode. Like, forget everything else. Forget everything else. Screw the episode could be ass. Daddy's going to grind his God roll, time lost, Baybringer. It is time to grind spoils once again, because I don't give a shit about crafting. Daddy wants the juice. Though I guarantee you're going to have to unlock everything first to get the double perks, which means don't waste your time doing master right now. Go for getting all the weapons craftable, and then you will be able to get the double perk drops. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
the main goal, big shout out to Mercules on the team that's been working on this for a while, and then Test and everybody too. But what is a Trials experience when it's not flawless?
Yeah, we already know about Trials.
Now it's more, oh, hey, I won 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
So we had a big, an emphasis on big article go out about Crucible.
We heard about it. I don't know what we're talking about again.
There's a bunch of matchmaking stuff, but also Trials is our main game, or main focus for that. And you can see the armor that you get on there.
I will say the armor for Warlock is pretty juiced.
Pieces like once a week or a couple times a week through challenges or opening the chest. It's like you can earn these armor pieces.
It's pretty cool.
Cosmetics like ships, ghosts, despair. Yeah, Andy saying, "Hey Dylan, you want to play a Discord?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm a bit too busy."
It's all right, we get it. You're a big deal, but
I'm not
no.
a big
Thank
deal.
you, honestly, in the interest of being busy. Thank you and yours, obviously, putting together that article. A lot of TikTok. Our friend Epic Defender out there is running Fighting Lion and, pardon me, Cold Denial. So I've gone ahead and personally dusted off my Cold Denial, which is.
I don't know who that is, so I'm not going to put that as a YouTuber, content creator, circle jerk. I don't know who that is.
Now also making a return. So if you don't.
Season of the rival weapons are coming back. Oh, okay. I'm going to be honest. Outside of Fallen Guillotine, none of the weapons really stand out to me. But we're getting Season of the Rivals. Cool. Right.
Still have it from Season of Arrivals. Now's your chance. Dylan, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. What's your favorite role for this one?
Well, so back in the day, I always made sure to have Head Seeker, and it was kind of a niche perk back.
It's funny that they're talking about this Cold Denial and when they just nerfed high impact frames in PvP. Like, guys, Head Seeker, it's a 340. We just nerfed that, but hey, we're going to advertise this on the stream as we're just like, get your 340s out. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny.
Back then, it was like, oh, hey, it helps with one-on-ones.
Paracausal Fluid, gain bonus handling and mobility when damaging targets with this weapon. Sword, gain increased charge rate while this perk is active. Are they bringing back Fallen Guillotine again for the fourth time? I think it's the third time. Okay. Outside of that, this seems, again, PvP focused. I'm just going to skip ahead. I don't care. Whispering Slave, Light Frame,
time.
Yeah.
I mean, for the seasonal weapons too, I believe it was Morgan Dickens, like working with her to see what are all the different roles, what can we call it on the stream.
Yeah.
She put a lot of love into those. Big shout out to the rest of the team as well. Like, I wish I could name every single person, but as you said, it takes a village, it takes a city to build a game.
Absolutely.
So big love for everyone.
Why are we circle jerking about guns that are already in the game? I'm confused why we're giving praise. You literally just brought back a gun that was already in the game.
But yeah, we're just the ones sitting up here today. There's obviously a ton of incredible peers of ours here at Bungie that are behind the scenes building all of this every single day.
All they did is add new perks.
So to our teammates and compatriots at Bungie, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
Are there any weapons you're looking forward to?
Oh, yeah, let's really quickly check.
Oh, I'm looking forward to all the new Dreadnought weapons. They look so gorgeous, especially the new support frame. So I'll be rocking that through my run throughs Nether.
Whispering Slab Enjoyer. Whispering Slab is now
I missed something.
First machine. But another one I want to call out, one that's so well beloved by the. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for y'all to go ahead and add this one back into your inventory.
Okay.
Is there going to be any new roles added for this one as well, Dylan?
I mean, all of the weapon roles, they're going to be a bit revamped. There will be some heavy hitters from the past, but also new perks have been introduced over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for the seasonal weapons too, I believe it was Morgan Dickens, like working with.
Hey,
her
cool. Wow.
All right. So we obviously have talked through a lot of stuff today.
Our last dungeon, we had a podium finish.
Okay, they're talking about
some stuff.
Okay, so they're just talking about the podium finish. It's going to be the one person, whatever. By the way, are you guys? If you do day one or the dungeon week one, you get a coat with Chatterwhite. Bungie, I'm so glad we are giving some praise to Chatterwhite. Guys, we got Chatterwhite. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to make the joke. Guys, they made a coat with a jacket with Chatterwhite. I'm sorry. That made me laugh. It looks like shit. I'm sorry. It looks like shit. Also,
go ahead for the Guardians to go ahead and earn as well. Dylan, can you tell us a little bit?
This is the thing in the background in Rolk's ship. This is like the super weapon that Rolk was trying to activate. So I guess that's part of the whole thing, is stopping whatever is trying to activate it.
Bit about what we're seeing here too.
Sure. Yeah. So on the screen, this is going to be earnable just by playing through. We have a new. I love this note sheet, man. Work shirt. So
work shirt.
It has a hood, but it's not the hoodies of old. This is going to be a new thing. A work shirt that you can earn the wristband.
A work shirt. I see any one of you walk into work at your job and you wear this, I'm going to laugh at you. First off, it looks ugly as hell. And two, why?
Band was a pretty big winner for players. They enjoyed earning that last go, so we have that again. And then we also have our Bungie rewards, the title pin. So go in, do all of the challenges.
I looked at it. I can't believe they
solo.
But either way, contests will be available for that first 48 hours.
First 48 hours too. Awesome. And then if you want to join in with the community and have a watching experience, we have the Dungeon Zone hosted by CB Gray and Evan F.
Couple of legends.
I'm not going to count that as a circle jerk because they always do that.
Tons of folks to watch. And then we also have like the terms and conditions for the.
Yeah, I don't care.
Now it's time to take a first look at the newest collaboration that's going to be coming to Destiny 2, and this one.
All right, there it is. I knew it was going to happen. They always like to put their penis out there. MTX, boys.
Is joining us from a galaxy far, far away. Chat, I'm going to keep an eye on you. I'm sure you're going to start going nuts soon, but that's right. Our next collaboration.
You know what's funny? It's two different franchises that take place in space. And both the new versions of both the series are fucking ass. Isn't that funny how the new Star Wars that's been coming out is ass, and so is Destiny? You got two shit stains coming together. Wow. All I cannot believe. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oryx is Palpatine. Oryx is literally Palpatine from The Last Skywalker. Holy shit. They're using Oryx like fucking Palpatine. There's no fucking way that I just realized it. They just randomly retconned Palpatine in the Star Wars series, and now we're getting Oryx in the same way. Holy shit. You can't make this up. I am fucking done with life. Please just throw me off. And can I just point out, this is obviously the Hunter, this is the Warlock. Why? It's funny that the Titan is the Stormtrooper, because we all know that Titans don't know how to use guns. Holy shit.
Yes, join the power of the dark side. Yes, Bungie combining two shit stains in one, and together they become the ultimate space shit. It's the Destiny Wars. Two shitty franchises, well, now they're shitty, coming together in a galaxy that you don't want to be a part of, far, far fucking away.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Bungie really did it. And I guarantee you, half the community is going to drop their pants, bend over, and they're just going to take it. That's right. This is Bungie. This is the community. This is Bungie. This is the community. Yep. Congratulations, Bungie. You found the one thing that's going to get people to drop their pants for you. You may see, this is the thing about like beautiful people. You may be a shitty person, but if you look hot, people will still want to sleep with you. And that's what Bungie's trying to do. The game looks run. The problem with the game is still there, but fuck, you can look good at least. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I cannot believe it. Oh my God. We're fucked. All those episodes of people refusing to give Bungie money because of them having buggy mistakes and just the half-ass activities and everything, that's about to go out the fucking window. Bungie's about to make millions and millions of dollars off of this. My God. I think I might just bash my head in. By the way, I want to point out they made a mortal sin by not making this Boba Fett. How the fuck do you not have the hunter, the bounty hunter? What the fuck is wrong with you? Also, why not make the Warlock Palpatine? Like literally, he literally is the Tickle Finger subclass. Again, dropping the ball, but I do think it's iconic that the Titans are stormtroopers. Like that makes complete logical sense. I'm all for it.
For hunters, let's go ahead and take a quick look at that one. This one is inspired.
I'm like, I think you're really stupid if you buy this for the hunter. It just doesn't look good compared to what we could have had, which is Boba Fett. This actually looks pretty good. Like it actually almost looks one for one. Like it, I would imagine, but I feel like they could have had Emperor Palpatine. It would have made fucking sense. This is just God tier. I fucking hate Bungie for this, but it is God tier. You are Stormtrooper. They didn't even change the mask. They kept the mask the same. And oh my, no way.
Honestly, I remember the first time I saw it, like I quietly lost.
The Death Star. Oh yeah.
I was muted on team.
All the lonely virgin nerds are out there circle jerking each other in their mom's basement about Destiny now. Oh my God. Oh my God.
But yeah, this one has been super exciting. Now, there's also more as a part of this collaboration for you to explore. So worry not, there's also a Sparrow, a ship,
Of course,
and a finisher. All
of
for you to check out
course.
when Heresy launches. But of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't take a chance, for starters, to give huge thanks to our friends here at Bungie that helped with that. And also, I gotta say, I for one am going to be keeping a close eye on the R Destiny Fashion subreddit because I can't wait so much for joining us today.
Okay. That was my live reaction. We'll do the post reaction like in the video. Just if you're watching this 3-hour video, which 2-hour video, I'm gonna have to edit the hell out of this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know this is gonna be coming out tomorrow. This might be coming out like Thursday. I'm gonna be 100 of y'all. 2 hours to edit this? Sweet Jesus. I don't know. This is a long fucking video. We're gonna definitely do the best hits and call it a day. Check that out, by the way. My general thought, if you're wanting to know my general thought, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm excited for VOG. I'm excited for linear fusion rifles, like the buff to weapons. But overall, the story sounds disappointing. The activity doesn't get me hyped because it's just the Coil 2.0, and I personally, I wish we had I would have rather played Contest of Elders in this slot with the good weapons. That's where I'm at. However, I'm glad we've got something for casual players and new players, and for even people like me who sweat their balls off. And sometimes we like to take a break. I'm okay with the activity, but there's nothing about this activity that is wow. There's no wow factor, right? There's nothing that, like, when you think Menagerie, people were wowed. When you saw Into the Light, Onslaught, there was the wow factor. When people did Pantheon, there was the wow factor. I don't get the wow factor for this kind of activity. I don't. It feels like we're doing deep dives again. Deep dives / the coil. I'm not going to be satisfied, unfortunately. But the weapons do. That is part of the thing that I am excited for, the auto rifles. We have one specific weapon that I am excited for. I hope that the rest of the weapons are good. The Season of the Rival weapons look. Listen, I'm not really ever excited for returning weapons from, like, Season of the Splicer. There was Promo Rush, and that was about it. Everything else was very mid and replaceable based on what we already have in the game. I feel like the problem with regurgitating seasonal weapons is that unless they were one of the few seasonal weapons that were good, it's just using shitty weapons again. And that's what seasonal revamps feel like. Like, am I excited about a shitty, ugly looking lightweight bow? No. Am I excited about a 340 cold denial? No. We literally got a nerf to those, and we already have several that can take its place. So, no. So that's just my general thought. I'm glad Shinies and Adepts are back. That's great. The chase is there. If the rest of the weapons are good, we're going to have to wait and find out. That's my honest first impressions. So hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always, game out. I don't know what the fuck to do with that. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't know what to do with that. I really don't know what to do with that recording. It's 2 fucking hours long. But we dissected it. I feel like we did a good enough job to just dissect everything. Hold on. We're going to do a review. All right, let's dive into it, shall we? Let's just get some nope, that's not what I want. Some chill music. Stupid ads. Go away. Get some chill ads while we're waiting. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna have an in-depth conversation, and it's gonna be very short. Like, not short, but shorter than 2 hours. Oh, come on. Come on. Whatever. Trying to do like a better, like, put up here. Here, I'm just gonna do this. How we doing? How's the sound doing? All right, let's chat. All right, let's pull this up. Let's start from the beginning. All right. Welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Scholars, I just got done reacting live to Heresy Act 1, the developer live stream. And I just we're going to talk, just go over some of the key parts that I feel like is important, in my opinion. The things that I really want to phone in. I do have some notes. Just some, not like a lot. And so we're going to go step by step and just kind of dissect everything. And I do have chat up and they're going to give their opinions, and that's great. I want you guys to give your opinions while we're going through. Just post the whole video. Yes. Yeah, maybe 2 hours is a lot. You would be surprised how many people would be upset about that. The weapon looks cool. I hope they are just mediocre seasonal weapons. Again, we'll get to the weapons in a minute. Let's just talk about the story. The story is, again, we're kicking off this the end of the Light Dart saga. The Witness is dead. Echoes are everywhere. There's a new Echo. And as you can see on screen, Oryx he's back. He is Emperor Palpatine. Bungie is, again, relying on nostalgia, like they did with episode Revenant. And I complained and criticized them for heavily relying on nostalgia bait. And here we are with Oryx. He is back by the power of the Echo, which tells me either it's a memory of Oryx, because if you know anyone who understands the lore behind the Echoes, the Echo itself is memories of civilizations that the Witness took over and conquered, and he absorbed the Hive, the Pantheon, and used, tricked and deceived and manipulated the 3 Hive siblings, and gave them the worms and all that stuff. And even Rolk used the worm gods and stuff. So it's a very deep process, but essentially, Oryx is ex machina back to life in some form or shape because of the Echo. You gotta love these retcons, ex machinas, whatever you want to call them. We know that Eris is playing a huge part. The Drifter, who is her boyfriend, is playing a big part because he loves messing with Taken. I guess he just wants to be taken by Eris at this point. We are getting, again, Oryx. The main villain apparently is some unnamed Dread. I don't know if it's this guy right here. He's a Taken Dread. I'm assuming that's not him, but we know Oryx is playing a part. We see the Echo right here. We're going back to the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is essentially, the way Bungie explained it, is being impacted by the Echo. The Echo is peeling back the Dreadnought and revealing the bone and all the extra flesh underneath. And you're going to see parts of the Dreadnought that is familiar with new parts. And they actually do show that. Like, we go through, and while they're talking about the gameplay, they show that off. You see the gameplay. I would probably like to just swap this over here. I should have swapped it over their face, but it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, you'll see the gameplay down below. And that's the gist of it. No, we have no idea what's going on with Zivo Wrath or Savathun. Apparently, they're not playing the massive key part in the villainy. I feel like it's weird that Zevo Wrath isn't the main villain. I know she's locked out of her Ascendant realm, and maybe she's being a bitch and hiding. I don't know. But Bungie has promised that this is supposed to be the conclusion of the Hive Pantheon story. So my fear is that they're going to introduce this conclusion wrapped up fast in Act 3 like they did with Episode 2, which was ass. So, missions are... Bungie does address the whole holo projector, and they're promising that this time, even though they promised and said something about it starting in Revenant, they are saying we're actually going to start with Heresy, where they're removing the holo projectors that you're going to be able to be out in the field, and instead of having to go to one spot constantly, it's going to be evolving. You're going to be able to interact with people in the battlefield. Like as you're playing these activities or the story, you're going to be experiencing, like think of like Crow and Cade in the Final Shape when they're just sitting there on the bench talking to each other, and you're just walking by. Like that's a good example of what I'm thinking it's going to be like, hopefully, which is what it should have been to make you actually give a shit about these characters. But they've noted and even memed on the fact that people are tired of it for the third, fifth time already. So this time is the real time. Just hold them accountable. You can only tell people one thing and not do it. They're going to do, that kicks off with this big event happening with Sloan. Like this whole thing is called the Path of Resolve. So Sloan is going to teach us the ways of Strand. Like, sorry. No, it's the Taken. Yes, they're following the same line of thinking of the Lightfall, where they're having Mr. Miyagi teach you the power of friendship. And they hint at something happening that triggers this. My guess, based on the lore and the characters involved, Big Fish, Nessie, whatever her name is, who's also like a hive worm, she's probably going to get kidnapped. That's my guess. That's not confirmed, but that's my guess. Let's see, what else? Patrol spaces. Bungie is saying that Dreadnought patrol spaces are in the game now, as you're seeing some gameplay. However, they're in the form of an activity, and that activity is split into 3 different modes. There is your exploration mode, where you can kind of use it as an opportunity to explore the Dreadnought and find secrets and take your time to kind of enjoy the environment. There's the normal version with the advanced, and then there's the expert, which is obviously the challenge, the hard mode. The difference being is you can play solo with the explore mode. So shout out to you casuals and solo players. You finally have an activity that you can do. And they promised that you're going to have more benefits that allow you to access this activity without hopefully minimal problem. The activity itself is called the Nether. The big thing about this is essentially it's a combination of the coil with deep dives. And the coil in the sense that they brought back pot smashing, they brought back tokens, but in the deep dive, you're going to go into these different bubbles, these different locations, as you're seeing on the screen right now. You're going to go to these different areas. It's going to get increasingly harder, like deep dives and the coil. And doing so is going to give you better loot, hopefully. They didn't really specify, but they said that you're going to want to get to the end to get the maximum amount of loot. It's going to get harder. They're going to increase modifiers, but you're also going to have access to what's called boons, which is just like deep dives, give you some benefit to your abilities, your perks, all that jazz. Also, the biggest key difference that they've initiated to try to make this more challenging, outside of the fact that you have res tokens and enemies are getting harder and harder, is they are gaining health. That's right. So they're forcing that you can no longer auto regenerate. You're going to have to rely on abilities and guns, and you're going to have to possibly actually have a cleric on in your team. Is essentially what they were going for. They want to have viability. Personally, I'm okay with that. I think, I'm okay. I would rather them do that than just make everything one shot. I'm tired of doing activities where the gimmick is they just make random trash ads insta kill you. My concern is as you're watching the gameplay, they're constantly like teetering between like low health, and that's a concern for me. That's a concern for me is that they're constantly in between low health. But as you can see, attrition exists, modifier attrition, where you're gonna get kills, heal up, and you're not gonna you can't essentially just slay out, which some people are not gonna like. Now, don't worry. It's going to be easier for you solo casual players, and there's going to be checkpoints. There's loot checkpoints. They said it's going to be from 8 to 12 minutes. You're going to get in. You're going to be able to get out. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. I like that. No ETA and like real in-depth explanation about like the story cadence or how the activities Bungie has mentioned in TWABs and articles that the activities are supposed to evolve as the week goes on. They did not explain any of that. As we're watching this activity, they have not explained how this activity is going to evolve and become different. Something that they're introducing outside of the boons, which you can actually see what boons you have. There's different versions of boons. There's the corrupt boons, which give you benefits and gives you negatives. I don't mind the boons. It's whatever. There's major boons, there's minor boons, and the corrupted boons. So there's 3 different boons. Great. Awesome. What else? I want to make sure I'm covering everything. It's a 3-player activity, by the way. So if you're wanting to go with a group like 6-man, you're not going to be able to do that. This is just like a strike, essentially. That's what it feels like. It feels like a strike. Randomize your starting point. So you're not going to be able to like fly in and just like, I'm going to check out the Dreadnought. Every time you fly in, it's going to be a random location that you start out at. So don't expect to be able to do that. Modifiers, like I said, you're going to have a bunch of modifiers. You can smash pots, which are going to give you tokens, like the coil. It's going to give you health. But you're going to be, they want to encourage exploration. That's the main thing. You're going to see parts that are from Destiny 1. That's interesting. Another thing that they have yet to explain is whether this content again is going to stay or if it's just you're paying for this cool content and it's just going to go away. We have no explanation of whether that's going to be the case or not. Boon system, we already talked about it. They talked about how the boon system is like the Traveler's Blessings. You're going to do cool stuff like sliding causes like a wave of fire. Personally, I think it's going to be better here because in the Traveler, the blessings were pointless. I feel like with the roguelike abilities and the fact that you have minimal like health, no regen unless you build into it. I feel like that's cool. We'll have to see how that turns out. My concern is replayability like enjoyment wise. Nothing about this activity looks exciting. That's my honest take on this is that the Nether, there's nothing about the Nether that gets me excited because it feels like you're just doing a strike with modifiers and like boons that are on the screen. The weapons are probably the best thing that does excite me. But nothing about this, like this, I don't think this is going to move the needle. I'm more excited to explore the Dreadnought, but the activity itself doesn't really move it to me. Sigil shards is a new material that I noted, which mean they talk about, that's a good segue. They talk about the tonic problems and they have acknowledged that people don't like the tonics, yet Bungie doesn't actually acknowledge some of the main concerns about the tonics. All they acknowledged was the fact that now whenever you use the new system, it's not called tonics. I forgot what the hell it's called. You're going to be able to focus the heretical arsenal. And you're going to be able to actually make sure you get the weapon that you want. And the way Bungie explained it is that instead of having to pop like tonics nonstop, you're going to have to do that less often. The concern that I wanted to see from Bungie that wasn't explained was, how often do I need to farm materials? How hard is it to get the materials to craft these things? And why couldn't we just have regular attunement in the first place that just I don't have to do this retention bait bullshit? The other thing is, they never mentioned anything about Fieldworks. Again, people complained about Fieldworks. Fieldworks was just useless, busy, retention bait shit. And I'm going to say it what it is. And all it did was improve your tonics. You did them to improve the efficiency of your tonic. No one wants to do it because they're boring, they're useless, they're chores. Bungie has not acknowledged that they're removing them or not. So we don't know. We don't know whether that's going away or not. But you should know that when you use the new system, whatever you focus, you will get, is what Bungie said. Don't expect to be raining down loot. That's not what it's going to do. You're not going to be raining down loot, unfortunately. But they do want to give more agency. It's called the Tomb of Want. Sorry, that's what it's called. It's called Tomb of Want. You can target weapons. So we are moving into the weapons. We are getting a bunch of new weapons. One of the new weapons that they showcased was the new support frame, which is Strand. It's a 600 auto rifle. It applies, I believe, Sever. If I'm correct, it's one of the Strand debuffs. When you hit an enemy, it applies it, which is really cool. I'm excited. It's Strand. I mean, either you love them or hate them, but having another healing support weapon in the kinetic slot is fantastic. What's really exciting is that Bungie finally acknowledged that why the fuck should I, if you're going to take away crafting, why do people care about these weapons? We are now getting, the heretical versions are now going to have adept shiny forms. Or at least what's going to happen is that the adepts are going to have a different variant from the base form. They're not actually ornaments, which I'm okay with, because that means you can still use shaders, but you're going to have a different version from the adept versus the base version. And you're going to be able to get double perks that you can enhance. And you're also going to get double origin traits. The origin trait is Runneth Over, which comes from King's Fall. It's the raid origin perk on all these weapons. I think that's great. There's a reason to care. My concern is we only saw like 1 or 2 weapons. The aerial denial frame, I'm not excited for, because literally we have the orb printing machine. Now, if this gets attrition orbs, then maybe it's exciting. Aerial denial frames are just, I think, overhyped, except for the orb printing machine. I'm not excited for it. We know we're getting another sidearm, because I've seen it, in a fusion rifle. So it depends on what the other weapons are coming back, that whether this is going to be a long chase or it's going to be a short chase. What else is coming back is Season of the Rivals, which I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think anyone's going to care. Like, I'm not excited for Season of the Rivals. The only thing that was exciting from that season was Bone and Guillotine. We already have the Into the Light version, which is like the best sword in the game for like the Void, for sure. I'm not excited. I just do not care about that being a flex spot. Like, it's just nothing about it excites me. Let's see, what else do we got? They go over aspects, and I won't be honest. I did see the Ionic Sentry, which does look cool. I did see the LMG being used with Titan in the barrier aspect, where essentially gives bolt charge to all weapons, like arc weapons. And the LMG was like a mini Thunderlord. There is mods in the artifact mod, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, but there was one specific one that increases the lightning damage. I feel like with the artifact mod, that's really cool. It's gonna be a really good aspect. Without it, I don't know if it's gonna be worth the bacon or not. That's just my honest thought. It's also gonna give you more abilities to interact with champions, which is cool. We'll give you that. Do I think that's going to make me want to use it over Prismatic? Probably not. Maybe for damage rotations, but like in Grandmasters, I'm not going to rely on Arc where I just die. I'm going to rely on like Prismatic and other like Solar, even though, or no, not Solar. Solar got nerfed. I would say Void. Void would be better. I don't think with Arc, I don't think anything that they have done with Arc is moving the needle based off what they showed. There is some good artifact mods, but I'm not looking at the artifact mods. I'm looking at the kit itself. And I think a lot of people are going to look at it based on the artifact mods. I'm wanting to look at, did they do the Arc subclass justice on its own without the artifact mods? And I don't think they did. I think Jolt is a good keyword. I think it's going to be really good. Bolt charge. I'm not thinking it's going to make me get off of Prismatic or Void for Hunter or Titan. For Hunter, like, Hunter has always been good with Arc. Like, it's always been good. And so I think this is a net positive for Hunter. Warlock, I still don't think I'm going to get off Warlock, even with the Sentry turret. I don't care. Prismatic literally produces plenty of turrets, and I can spam them and never die. So I'm sorry. I'm just not an Arc stand. Hunter got a beautiful bacon footage visibility on the prowl aspect. I think it's going to go great with Gerfalcons and Omnioculus. Again, I think those builds were good already. They didn't really need more support. I think they just got better. They like to talk about using like exotics like the hunting one. What was it called? That's not Lazarek. Whatever the hell it's called. It's a shitty ass Season of the Hunt exotic linear rifle. I don't think anyone's gonna use it. And I think it's cope. Moving on. Let's talk about the artifacts while we're talking about. It's very obvious Bungie wants to build into the Arc Fantasy. There's one synergy with Void, which I think Hunter's gonna love, where weakening something is going to chain volatile rounds, and then chaining volatile rounds is going to chain weakening, which I think is going to be great synergy for like Grandmasters and stuff where Hunter can really, like, I think Hunter is the best for this. Warlock can do it too, but not at the premium that Warlock or Hunter can do it. There is probably the most notable thing to talk about, which is particle deconstruction. We know that linear fusion rifles are getting a flat 10% buff across the board. We know that Queenbreaker bow is getting a massive buff in the fact that it's going to be turned, its second option, scope option, is going to be a 3-round burst that when you hit land those shots, it goes down to a charge rate of 300. So you're just blasting your load. So 10% plus that change plus deconstruction, which is going to get more ammo in your reserves. Plus, there is a artifact mod. It's called Flash something. I forget what it's called, but it's going to increase the damage of your lightning bolts. So you're activating bolt charge. You're getting those lightning bolts from Queensbreaker. You're blowing your load. Like, you are doing a lot of freaking damage. Also, fusions are also anti-champion. I think Queensbreaker is going to be a premium pick that you're going to want in on your team. I think it's just going to be disgusting. I think even with Darcy buffing snipers, I would never use Darcy over Queensbreaker. And then fusions in general are going to be disgusting. Vex Mythoclass, great for GMs. Arbalest is even going to be good, just the fact that it can stun anti-champions, and it's just going to get massive buff from the 10%, which is great. It already had champion capabilities. I take that back. It's only going to get 10%. It's not going to get the benefit from the unstop stuff, whatever the mod was. Yeah, I'm thinking about what else can benefit. There's a lot of synergy. We're gonna have glaives. I do want to complain. I hate the fucking champ system in this game. It is ass. It is garbage. I hate it. There's only one primary weapon that is going to have access to a stunning capability weapon. And I think it is fucking stupid from a new player or a player that doesn't have weapons. You're telling me you're going to lock them out to just using special weapons and a primary. I think with good builds, you can easily keep up special weapons like glaives, fusions. And yes, if you have Vex, you can circumvent and use a champion mod too without having special. I'm not a fan. I don't like it. It's very obvious they are going to brute force you into using Arc to use some of these stunning capabilities. I'm just not a fan I hate the champ mods. I think they're the bane of Destiny. They're stupid. They talk about trials and the new system. We already know what it is. Check out the TWAB if you want to, or the little Crucible rundown. It's pointless to go over it. I do want to mention they introduced 2 new exotics. One is the craziest ass looking SMG I have ever seen. There it is. Let's just, where's this? This little guy's a Strand SMG that's going to do blight darts. Right now, I'm not excited for it. It's definitely unique. I don't think it's going to be as exciting based on like the gameplay, and maybe it's just the user who's making it look bad. But for in-game, I'm not excited for an SMG. Like SMGs in general are just lackluster in in-game content. And that's the perspective I look at. Sure, you can use anything in a public space. But in-game wise, that's where I live. And with the limited amount of vault space, I'm not going to collect everything that's fun. I'm going to min-max and get the best that's fun and good. That's where I'm drawing the line. But we're going to see, they kind of mention it being a precursor. So we might see some changes to it or a different gun that's based off of it. I'm not for sure. The second one is probably one of the most exciting season pass weapons we've gotten in a while. We have Lodestar, the first ever primary trace rifle. Trace rifles have been fucking useless except for like utility or for the double special cheese, which has been nerfed. You're going to be able to use, it's like Duality of the shotgun, where you have two different firing modes. You have a trace rifle firing mode, and then you have the pulse rifle firing mode. And essentially, when you build up stacks of arc alignment, you activate it, you shoot, you blow your load, and you blind and jolt targets. They talk about how you could shoot a wave and jolt all targets in a group, which means you're going to be able to take care of two different champions with this one gun. Not only that, you're going to build up stacks of bolt charge. You're going to build into arc with like amplify or even prismatic, because remember, prismatic, it's really easy to activate, amplify, and other keywords. Like using this on a void hunter with prismatic, like you're going to be able to go invisible quite often. Like I'm pretty excited. This is probably one of the best season pass weapons. We don't even know what the catalyst does. That's the funny thing. Like the Theridium, I wasn't excited because there was zero synergy of it. There is immediate synergy with this arc trace rifle. It's a new model. We've been screaming Bungie, stop reusing shitty ass models. This thing, boom, new remodel. It's not a copy pasta of what we already have. It's something fresh. Hallelujah. Holla. And not only that, but it like I said, it matches the theme of Arc, which is what they're pushing for. I'm tired of them pushing weapons that have no fucking reason to be a part of a season. Like, let's put Solar in a like Dragon's Breath in what was supposed to be a stasis season, and it became Dragon's Breath and Solar. Anyways, they talk about the dungeon, which again, the dungeon itself, just so you know, isn't part of the season. It's being released alongside it. You still have to, either you pay the deluxe version, or you have to, if you pay, you have to pay for the dungeon key itself, which gives you access to both dungeons for this year. You do not need to buy the season. You also don't need, if you buy the season, you don't get access to the dungeon. Just make that very clear. You do not, you get an absolute just L if you buy the season with Ripe Dust. And you don't, if you buy the season, the dungeon pack key, you don't get access to the seasons. You either buy the annual pass, which is everything, you get the deluxe edition, which gives you the final shape and everything. Those are the only ways you get access to it. I just want to put that up because people don't understand that the dungeon is not part of the season. That's why I give 2 different reviews for it, so you know whether you're wasting your time spending money or not. No new exotic weapon is a huge effing L. The season 1 is fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about. When it comes to build craft, I would say I would rather have this exotic weapon over the shit that is an erythium. It's only good, I guess, if you want to be ammo generator, but it has 0 synergy. I would rather have a weapon with synergy that can deal with 2 champs. So Grandmasters, fantastic. Am I going to take this into like day 1 of certain activities? It depends on what it is. For damage rotations, no, I'm putting Queensbreaker on. Are you joking? For boss damage, Queensbreaker is not leaving my side. But for synergy, I mean, this is probably the most synergistic weapon we've had in a long time. Armor. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice. Sorry, Tank of People. Yes, we have nothing new about exotic armor. Yeah, we have nothing about exotic armor. We don't know if we're getting any. They talk about the Trials armor. As you can see on screen, it's all right. I mean, they're going for more Osiris armor. That's dope. I talked about the dungeon. They're going to do the dungeon race. Again, it's not part of the season, but I'm going to acknowledge it because it's part of the dev stream. They're gonna do the singular winners, the 3 people that got first place. Guess what? You're first place, no participation tokens. And as soon as they cross, everyone's gonna access to the normal dungeon, and the new people are gonna get a nice little trophy, and then everyone else is going to get. If you really were missing out on Chatterwhite, they're going to get you this nice work jacket shirt. They say it was a work shirt or something. You're going to get access to this really cool Chatterwhite inspired jacket. I'm joking. I'm absolutely being facetious. Okay, so my chat is saying DMG tweeted that they are trading exotic armor for new aspects. I'm disappointed. I'd rather have armor, because usually the armor you can use like with prismatic or arc, you can use for both. Aspect, unless it's across the board with prismatic, it's kind of an L in my opinion. Because you may just I will probably never touch the sentry on my warlock, because I have I can have 3 turrets at once: stasis, arc, and solar. I'm sorry. Also, for people like me who've been jizzing in their pants waiting for the day that they can farm out a craftable Fatebringer or get the enhanced Fatebringer Time Lost, Daddy is back and it has a juice magazine. So yes, we're finally, Fatebringer's back in line. We're waiting to get something that's better than my Midnight Coupe. Daddy is back with his juicer Fatebringer. Thank God. That's probably the thing that I'm most excited about. If I'm being brutally honest with this entire crunch of what I think, my impressions, Vogue becoming farmable and making me care is probably the thing I care about the most. The activity just seems like deep dives on the dreadnoughts. The story seems like nostalgia bait. I am not excited for most of the season except for the guns, which is not really seen. We don't know how good the guns are yet, but I am very interested in the weapons. Some of the exotics have piqued my interest. And then obviously there's the dungeon, which is separate. However, the dungeon may very well make me want to continue to play Destiny as a whole, even if the season was a flop. I'll let you know what I think. I have my Adept Fatebringer. So do I. But Daddy wants the best of the best because I'm a sweaty fat. Well, I'm not fat. I'm getting there. I'm a sweaty nerd. Let's see. Also, something to note while we're talking about it. Just when you thought MTX wasn't done, Bungie's not done with you. They want you to drop your pants. It is funny because this is iconic that Bungie has chosen stormtroopers to be Titans, because we all know that Titans don't use guns. So this makes sense that they're stormtroopers. They don't know how to use a gun, and when they do, they're usually shooting in the air or something, or they're using a rocket for ad clear. I don't know. But if they're not punching something, they're acting like stormtroopers. No, but literally, as I said, Oryx is Palpatine. They pulled the Last Jedi, the Last Skywalker. And unironically, it's 2 franchises that have shit the bed and become a shitty laughing stock. They are now merged together. 2 shit stains becoming 1. Who would have thought? Yep, all the people that are just criticize Bungie for not fixing the bugs, which, by the way, just so you all know, we did do a Bungie bingo. They didn't address bugs. They didn't address time gates. They slightly addressed tonics, not really. Zalo didn't return. Noah, the developer, didn't show up. Menagerie activity, we got not. Dreadnought being a patrol space, to confirm that it kind of is. Rolk, we've yet to see come back, but Bungie has found a way to get the Destiny community, the fat, sweaty nerds in their mom's basement, circle jerking Data's videos, to drop their pants once again. And here it is. By the way, I just want to point out, this not being Boba Fett, massive miss. And this not being Palpatine, considering we literally have a super that turns us into Palpatine, massive miss. This is very acceptable. This is a Titan.ex right here. Yeah. that is pretty much it, guys. That was pretty much everything covered. I've covered every little thing. Listen, I'm going to say this because I'm grilling Bungie and MTX. I don't care about MTX if the game does good enough job with content. I give money to content that is free and is worth my time. Warframe, Fortnite, 100% free. Destiny, you have to pay for expansion. You have to pay for the dungeon. You have to pay for the season. And then they want to milk your nuts off with MTX. Fuck you. Destiny is the biggest scam in the gaming community, which is why people make fun of Destiny, why people don't see it as successful, why people just make the meme, LOL, dead game. I can't believe you're still playing. Destiny is the laughing stock of the gaming community. No one takes it serious, especially PvP. No one takes it serious. There's other games that have better legacies than Destiny. And it's because you've got to think that they sunset paid content still, even with the sunsetting of expansions. They sunset seasonal content every year, and no other game does that. You pay for it and it goes away. So with that said, yes, Destiny is the biggest scam. Maybe when seasons become free in the summer, we're going to see a different tune. We'll see. I'll be more acceptable at MTX. The shit like this where we have 30 different MTX things and the game is not running, I'm not okay. MTX, microtransactions. Microtransactions to MTX. I'm not okay with it. It's just, it's pointless. They are giving us a new trial set. Great. They are revamping Crucible, which is a free activity. Great. Iron Banner. Great. Yet to hear anything about strikes. That's probably not going to be until the summer. My overthought and opinion on this episode this season is I'm not seeing most of the main concerns being covered. I don't see the story being saved. I don't see them doing justice to the story, and the gameplay is lackluster. I'm excited to see some guns, but there's a lot of questions that Bungie has not answered. How's the activities going to evolve? They said that they're going to change kind of like the cadence where in between the weeks that we're going to have things happen instead of being 3 dead weeks. We're going to see something maybe in those weeks. They didn't explain shit all about that. That's just my general thought. I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. Hit the like button, comment down below. Until next time. Again, I want it to be good, but my expectations is very low. You're asking me, should you buy this? I'm saying no. Don't buy anything yet. Wait and see. And I will give you my first impressions of what I think. Because right now we're just seeing what they show. I was excited for Onslaught, but the loot was not good. So I will let you know if the loot's good and worth your vault space, essentially. I'll let you know. So tune in, check it out, do live streams. Occasionally, I'll probably try to do better, especially I do work, so I won't be there on launch. I'll be after launch, like an hour or two after launch. I will work, so I'll come and start streaming like I am today. But I appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, game out. Huzzah. All right, I think that was a good enough review. What do y'all think? Y'all think that was good enough? Let's see, can I fix this? Undo. Can I undo all this? I hope I can. I hope I can put it back to normal. All right, sweet. Sorry, chat. I was trying to focus a little bit on the just general run through. I try to condense everything down as much as possible. Let's see what chat's saying. Let's see. That's it. Then the keel. Once again, you get time travel. The plots get squirrely AF. Like the Haunted Leviathan. Yes. Dreadnought themed strike. Did you love deep dives? No, I fucking hated them, Scott. This doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Also, OG was fun. The weapon design looks good. I'm just not putting a lot of sweat into seasonal activities for seasonal weapons. That's very true. No new exotic armor. Yeah, I still think that is a big L. No new. Yep. DMG tweeted. Yep. Tempest aspect is the best we could do. Everyone else is working on marathon. Yeah, true. One aspect, guys. We can only do one aspect. You do. LL, you do you. I will not be giving Bungie my money. Shut up and take my money. This is the best part of the announcement. Listen, I'm not going to give a company that has not earned my money yet. I'm not going to drop my pants and let them rail me like they've been railing the game. Like, can I remind you guys that they released a free activity that wasn't functional? Let's be honest. Can we just be honest? Like, you should not be supporting. Like, I think. Listen, here's the thing. We can have a conversation. If you want to buy this set, pop off. My advice, though, is wait and see. This set is going to be here. All right, the rest of Destiny. Or at least wait until the mid-season or mid of the episode, like Act 2. And think, you know what? They've done enough changes. It's not buggy. The content is fun. You earn my money. But man, I think if you're willing to drop your pants and give them money without even seeing how the episode plays out, you should never comment on a single thing about Bungie in my comment section. That is the most hypocritical thing. Again, it's like Bungie gives you a shit Sunday. You don't like the shit Sunday. You get upset they give you a shit Sunday, but then they advertise, hey, for more money, you can get this better ice cream. You gave me a shit Sunday, but let me give you more money for this better looking ice cream. I'm just saying, man, like, you can't complain about Bungie. Like, you can, but you can't like really hammer home on Bungie if you're still going to support them. Your words mean nothing. They're hollow. Because when you give Bungie money, that's what they need. To survive, they need money. So if you fund them and they haven't earned it, you are speaking with your voice. That's the problem with buying this. I spend hundreds of dollars on Warframe because Digital Extremes, even though I don't have to, Digital Extremes cares about the community. They give out good content. I want to support them. I don't want to fucking support Bungie. I want to support them getting kicked out and Sony being taken over, or Sony taking them over. That's my brutally honest thoughts on Fungo. Fungo. I mean, look, they didn't address the bugs in the game. They didn't address time gating. Those are the two big things. They kind of slightly addressed conics, but not the field work and the busy ass shit. Like, they didn't address that. I want to know that the game that I play this episode is not going to be the buggy fest. When I play the new Sundered Doctrine, when it comes out on day one, I don't want to have a laundry list of things that I can't play because it's broken. You can't use Tether. You can't use Well Lock. You can't use Golden Gun. You can't use Titan, period. Sorry, Titan, your subclasses break the game, so you can't play Titan. It's disabled. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Bungie has done nothing to, like, it's not like they suddenly changed what's been going on. Like, oh, last episode was a nightmare. Hurrah! Praise the Iron Lords! Praise the sun! Bungie, it's a new Bungie, a new day, and the game is saved. I'm waiting to see the Steam chart numbers probably spike to average 25 first month and then fall off. Dude, the first act spiked around 60, 70, and it dropped off immediately after that. We never got back up with Act 2 and Act 3. We never got that high again. I hate the Dreadnought isn't back. I mean, it's like, it's sectioned off, and we don't know if it's actually staying, which is a problem. How about the Star Wars Hunter and set for Bright Dust? I'm not giving the money. But that's the thing, Lost Frame. They said nothing. It's not going to be Bright Dust. These collabs outside of like the Doki Doki set, is for cash. It's cash money. Nope. I'm telling you. I've been saying it. I think they should be. I think every Armor NTX set should be for Bright Dust. I'm just gonna say it. It should be for Bright Dust. Especially for a game that asks you to spend, like, as triple dipping. You have to pay the expansion. You have to pay for dungeons. You have to pay for seasons. And then they want you to pay for cosmetics as well. Like, Fortnite. Hell, even Call of Duty doesn't do that. And they have 2 fucking tiers to their battle pass. You can get the regular version, the free version, which is free. You can buy the regular actual season pass, or you can get the deluxe golden version that gives you all these extra stuff. Like, even that's not as scummy as Destiny, and that's saying something to me. That's saying something to me. I would not want to give Bungie my money. Where'd you get the Fatebringer? I got this off of there was a guy, I don't know if he still makes them, off of Wish. So it's 3D printed. It's really cool. And it's cheaper. Don't buy your shit from Bungie. They're going to, they're not going to give you good model sizes, and they're going to be like $100, $200. I think this was under $100. So please don't buy your replicas from Bungie. It's a scam. They're really cool dudes and dudettes who know how to really 3D print and make really good designs for half the money that Bungie will make you pay. Just don't give Bungie your money. Somehow Oryx returns, Trials mess, season event for season weapons, Star Wars, I'm in. What is MTX? Where I talked about Palpatine, Boba Fett were probably too expensive for Bungie. Yeah. Love your content. Joining next stream with friends. Awesome. Thank you, Cart Presents. Through. Add me on Discord. No, sorry. I don't add people specifically on Discord. Sorry. This season looks mess. Solo trials is a bust, and seasonal activities for seasonal weapons, meh. But at least, Scott, you can go solo. That's a good thing. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm having a drink and being honest over here. They have been railing us for 10 years, and at least we get an action figure this season. Yeah? Okay, I'll wait. I hate that the Dreadnought isn't back. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. So $60 of silver for 3 characters. Ha! Yeah. Let them rail you, baby. Let them rail you. All right, I think... How long have you been streaming? I wanted to do bounties, but I'm going to be $1.50. I didn't tell you at the beginning of the stream, but I think I'm getting sick. I'm very tired, but I wanted to go through this and kind of talk to you guys. So I don't think I'm going to continue bounties right now. Like, I think I need to go to bed early and take a bunch of medicine so I can go to work tomorrow. So I'm going to make a thumbnail and probably check out very early tonight. All right, thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the YouTube. If you're on Twitch, subscribe to YouTube, but also you can follow on Twitch. Appreciate you guys. You're awesome. There was like 50 of you guys between Twitch and YouTube, so it was awesome seeing you guys checking us out. Yeah, we do brutally honest reviews, and we're very honest with how it is. I'm 10 years in this game, so I'm going to give you the skinny. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I know a lot of people don't like my style because, you know, for instance, the weapons, like people hate meta chasers. They hate like, oh, you only use the best stuff. Well, bitch, as soon as the vault becomes bigger, that I can put my big penis into the vault with new guns, then sure, I will definitely be less meta chasey. But the fact that we're getting less crafted and we don't have new space, I'm going to be picky. And I'm going to tell people what's worth it because they may be in the same slot I am and they have years of goddamn weapons. And they want to know, is it worth it to use my time to farm for a gun that I already have that can be replaced? So yeah, that's me. So again, a lot of you are returning, so you know what's up. You know what's up. That's great. I just want to go back to this. This make me lazy. By the way, where is he at? Where's the dude? That's how I feel about this episode right now. That's how I feel. There's no excitement. I'm not disappointed because the bar has been set so low. So I'm here. I'm just here. This is me. This is how I feel. Let's do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get in and we're gonna get it. Now, obviously I'm excited for this. This does make me feel hot and bothered. But for the actual episodic content, this is me. This is me. I do thank you guys. I am going to go and try to feel better. Tomorrow. Listen, there's 4 things I need to do. One, if I care, I need to try to get the rest of my large bright desk by doing the seasonal challenge. I don't know if I will. That's the last thing I'll do. We need to do bounties, like the weeklies, but all the big boy bounties, the main bounties as possible. I need to finish my 4 other grandmasters just for the hell of doing it, I guess. Sure, I don't know why I care, but sure, I might do it and just finish it up. Maybe I'll make like a collab video where I just spam different clips. Maybe I'll just screw around and make like a stupid ass build I just randomly do. I want to do a Dark Souls build with like the sword. I just want to just do stupid shit. Maybe I'll do that. And then I don't know what else. I think maybe I will try to finish up the field work for this episode. Like, I don't know if I care enough, man. I'm not going for the seal or the title. I don't give a shit. Titles are the most stupid, pointless thing in this game. It's that and emblems. Emblems, everything about this game when it comes to like those titles, just they're pointless. Like, even Call of Duty does a better job of showing your emblems. You can have like 5 or 6 on your trophies that people can check on your profile, and then you have your main one. And they're also animated, which I think Destiny needs to do. We need some high tier animated, only end game emblems, and that will add some prestige. We have like so many emblems. Like, people are circle jerking these donations emblems that are like, you have spent thousands of dollars again. Like, oh, I got the rarest, most expensive shader or emblem. Oh my god. I don't care. You know, it should be you donated money to charity. Good for you. It's not about you having the most expensive emblem. Like, it's supposed to be you donated charity. Shut the fuck up. That's how I feel about emblems. I know, small mini rant. I'm definitely getting on a tangent and keeping myself from going to bed. I could rant all day. I'm done. I'm done. I'm like this guy right here. I'm done. Okay, we're done. Oh, we're done here. What does this do? Me. This is me. I don't know why I can't move it, but whatever. It's me. It's me. All right, until next time, thank you guys for checking out the stream. I'll see you later.